Astros have had plenty to cheer about lately. A 10-10 record in the month of September. And with 2 straight wins over the Pirates, the Astros look to welcome Mr. Sweepy for the first time since May. Astros go for that sweep of the Pirates. It's next on Fox Sports Houston.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Hyundai presents Sunday Baseball. Today it's the Houston Astros looking for a sweep over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good afternoon, Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros did win again last night, and they have gotten a good combination of pitching and home run balls in this series, JD.
It's amazing how that works. When you shut teams down and hit home runs, you tend to win. The pitching's been very good. Dallas Keuchel, 7 innings of 1-run baseball last night to pick up the W, and he had support from the home run bat. That's been a theme in this series so far against the Pirates. We saw it in the opener on Friday night. Jed Lowry turning on an inside fastball to go deep. Justin Maxwell continues with a line shot into the Crawford boxes. Heads up out there. And Brett Wallace also went deep into the Astros bullpen. And then finally last night, a decisive 3-run shot off the bat of Jason Castro. So the long ball, solid pitching, and the Astros with a chance for their first sweep since May.
Astro a 3-run homer to make it 4-1. That was the final. Now coming up next, Mr. Sweepy is in the house. Will he be able to do his job today? The Astros going for their 3rd sweep of a 3-game series this season. We'll see Game 3 in just a moment.
With this 3-game series here at Minute Maid Park, dressed in the Rainbow Classic uniforms for this last Sunday home game of the year. The Astros are on the field and about set to give us the lineups and get this game underway. Let's go to the booth. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. 3 different uniforms on the 3-game weekend series, and the fans, of course, are getting replicas of those uniforms as they attend these 3 games. Now we'll check the starting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates, brought to you by Hyundai. Alex Presley leads off in left field. It's Josh Harrison at second base. The center fielder is MVP candidate Andrew McCutchen, is also leading the batting race now. Garrett Jones is at first base. Pedro Alvarez at third. Travis Snyder in right field. Clint Barmas at shortstop. Rod Barajas the catcher. A.J. Burnett on the mound.
And Jordan Lyles for the Astros this afternoon, making his 24th start. He's 4-11 with a 5.40 ERA. The Astros have won his last 2 starts. This time out, he got a no decision. The Astros beat the Phillies 7-6. Defensively, Martinez, Barnes, Moore. Left, center, right, third to first. We go Dominguez, Green, Altuve, Wallace. And the big fellow, Chris Snyder, is behind the plate.
Pirates have won 11 of the 16 games with the Astros this season. They wrap up the season series today, but the Astros are 3-3 at home against Pittsburgh as Alex Presley steps up to lead it off. Lyles powers the fastball in. There is strike one, is called by home plate umpire Tim Timmons to a .235 hitting Presley with 9 homers, 21 runs batted in, and 0 for 2 in this series.
Presley, a guy who likes to slap the ball around, but he has a little power. He's hit 9 home runs, so you got to be a little cautious with him. There you see the umpiring crew: Timmons, Foster, Cooper, Kellogg. Lyles 0-2 with a high ERA, higher than 9 against the Buccos this year.
Line back into his glove. One hard hit out.
It's a way to charge that ball. 41 on out. Can't hit the ball there and expect to get a knock. Gotta be a little smarter than that, Alex. We got a glove right there.
It's good positioning, JD.
Yep. That's advanced spray charts. Stationing that pitcher in just the right spot.
Tough out for Presley leading off. Now Josh Harrison follows, taking strike one. Harrison, a .231 hitter with 3 homers, has driven in 14. Neil Walker has started 1 game in this series, and that was last night. He's had lower back problems lately. He had to be scratched from the lineup Friday night. So Harrison gets this call and is behind 0-2 in the count. Harrison has been struggling to collect hits lately with 11 in his last 45 at bats. And the curveball had him starting a swing and then checking on appeal to Marty Foster.
All hands on deck for the Buccos as they try to break this losing streak.
Where's Clint Barmas's hat? 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Astros will be welcoming the St. Louis Cardinals with different uniforms on tomorrow night. There's Wallace chasing this foul pop into the seats, and the count remains 2-2.
A shot of those Pirates leaning up on the railing. They're all bunched together. It looks like they're waiting to be fed or something. Somebody's going to come by with a pail and just, here you go, boys.
Well, they have lost 5 in a row. They certainly are starved in that sense. And the Astros, meanwhile, are 10-10 in the month of September. Harrison went for it, and here's the throw to retire him on the strikeout for out number 2. Snyder to Wallace.
Yeah, it's interesting. You talked about Lyles and his struggles against the Pirates this year. 0-2 with a 9.20 ERA through 3 starts. But he has now struck out 20 and walked only 1 in 15 in the 3rd innings. So, you know, those numbers, they don't add up to me. He's given up a lot of hits, and there's a certain amount of luck involved in that. But we'll see how today plays out.
McCutchen takes one upstairs. It's called a strike. At .336, he has 30 homers, 92 runs batted in. He's 2nd in the league in on-base average. He's 3rd in slugging. Just a sensational year, but the Astros have held him to a 1-for-8 weekend. No balls, 2 strikes.
This is a guy who came into this series hitting .420 against the Astros this year. And
He obviously sees the ball well off of Jordan Lyles.
Jordan pitched in Pittsburgh September 4th. He lost that game 6-2, giving up 4 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. It's a 1-ball 2-strike count. McCutchen now, and he has shrugged off the questions from the media because of the Pirates team situation at 74 and 77 and going 14 and 32 since August 1st about his quest to win a batting title. Bouncer up the middle, that'll help him a little bit as he singles into center field. But McCutchen at 336 leading Buster Posey of the Giants by 3 points. His play begins today. Buster might be sitting this one out. The Giants did some celebrating last night.
Celebrating is breaking out all over baseball these days.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Reds clinched, Giants clinched, Nationals have clinched a playoff spot.
Garrett Jones, the batter, at 274 with 24 homers. He's driven in 78 and has a home run in this series. He lost his glove briefly over the right field fence last night, trying to snag the home run hit by Jason Castro. It had to be retrieved on the other side of the fence. Infield has shifted for him as the throw goes over on McCutchen. McCutchen, with all his tremendous abilities, has 19 steals in 30 attempts. Not a great stolen base percentage for McCutchen this year. Last year he was 23 of 33. Ground ball, and here's the shortstop Green over for the short throw to Wallace to end the Pirate first. With no runs a hit and a man left, no score so far. Get a 2-out single, but fail to score in the top of the first. Now the Astros come up in the bottom half as those fans have their new shirts on. Hyundai shows you Jose Altuve leading off for the Astros at second base. Scott Moore playing right field. Brett Wallace at first base. The cleanup man is left fielder Fernando Martinez. With Matt Dominguez at third base, Tyler Green at shortstop. Chris Snyder's the catcher. In center field, it's Brandon Barnes, and the pitcher is Jordan Lyles.
A.J. Burnett is 35 years of age. He's right-handed. He pitches for the Pirates. And in his career, he's made 10 starts against the Astros. 3-5 with a 5.01 this year, 1-0 with a 4.43 ERA and 3 starts. Defensively, the Pirates have an outfield that features Presley in left, McCutchen in center, Snyder in right field. On the infield, it's Alvarez Barnes, Harrison Jones, Rod Barajas is the catcher. He has a hard time throwing out base steals. This combination should be very easy to run on. Barajas with bad numbers. Burnett 34 successful steals, only 2 caught.
Jose Altuve might be able to cash in on that if he can get on. He's stolen 32 bases this year, and he sports a .292 batting average as he steps up. Burnett is getting strike one called, and it looks like the high strike may be called today from early indications. .292 for Jose, 5 homers, 35 runs batted in, a couple of hits and an RBI for him in this series. He's got that big curve, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a good curve ball. He's been a good, dependable guy for the Pirates this year. After finishing 11-11 last year with the Yankees and an ERA above 5. He's a 15-game winner this season.
That one's whacked on a line into right center field, but caught. Snyder there for out number 1. Pitch was upstairs, and Altuve got a good look at it, but it went to the right fielder, and Burnett has his first out in this game. We saw his career record before, 3-5 against the Astros, a 5.01 ERA. Last time he beat Dallas Keuchel here when he faced the Astros July 26th and pitched very well. Scott Moore at 244 has 8 homers. He's driven in 23. Has 1 hit in this series. He has hit .324 against Pirate pitching this year. Burnett throws, and it's strike 1. AJ, 35 years old, drafted by the Mets in the 8th round at 95. North Little Rock, Arkansas, his hometown. He's been facing the Astros since the '99 season.
His big league journey has taken him through Florida with the Marlins, into Toronto, the Yankees, and now the Pirates, his 4th club. 136 wins, 119 losses. It's fastball, curveball, changeup for Burnett.
That comes in for a strike to Moore, and it's 1-2.
A few years back, his average fastball sat right around 95 miles an hour. He doesn't do that anymore, but still has a good heater. Certainly good enough.
It's punched up the left field line, slicing, and it's a fair ball into the corner. Moore takes a left turn, and he's in with a 1-out double, his 10th of the season. Good job of putting that ball in play with 2 strikes in the count and hitting it to a nice spot.
Two-seam fastball running away from him, and he just stays on it and rides it the other way. Fair by inches.
Looks like it might go foul off the bat. Never well fair. Moore is on, and it's Brett Wallace at 265 with 8 homers. He's driven in 22. Finally got his first long ball all season at home Friday night. That's in tight to him, ball 1. He hit a pitch away into the bullpen in right center field off the left-hander Friday night. He's 3 for 8 in this series with that homer and 3 runs batted in. He's hit .421 against Pittsburgh this year. Burnett catches the inside part of the plate to even the count at 1-1 on Wallace. Burnett has faced Scott Ellerton, he's faced Jose Lima, Pedro Estacio when pitching against the Astros, Shane Reynolds, Roy Oswalt, Roger Clemens, Wandy. He's gone through a lot of years. Not a whole lot of appearances against this club. 2 balls and a strike, and of course with the nature of this team, a lot of these guys don't have big numbers of at-bats against Burnett. Moore with his double is now 4 for 9 against him. Pirates are 8th in the league in ERA right now, 3.89 for their staff. It's a bouncer foul.
Like you can imagine the general funk that has fallen over the Pirates with high expectations and hanging in the race as long as they did for the 2nd consecutive year, and then again another total collapse. So that's the challenge for Clint Hurdle between now and the end of the year. Just try to keep his guys engaged and go out and try to get some wins.
Absolutely. He got tossed out of the game last night when a call was reversed at first base. That one almost hit Wallace. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of pitchers work him inside with fastballs.
Yeah, and Burnett likes to throw that 2-seamer that he starts in on the left-handed hitter and then tries to run it back to the inside corner.
Now 3-2 count for Brett. Fernando Martinez on deck.
That's where Wally has to learn to be patient. Make sure you get a pitch.
And fouls it.
He fought off a tough pitch there. You see number 6 on Fox tracks. It was on the inside part of the plate. Just kind of spoil those tough pitches and hope the pitcher makes a mistake. But he's been vulnerable not only to the inside fastball, but counts like this, the curveball down, has a hard time laying off of it.
Wallace has walked 14 times this year. He's had 200 at-bats. Swing and a miss there. Gets Burnett his first strikeout of the day. It's out number 2, and Fernando Martinez will follow.
You might say he has trouble with the curve, Brandon.
Ooh. We both saw that movie yesterday. What did you think of that movie?
It's a good movie.
Yeah. We went differently. No, we're together enough. We were at different theaters.
I agree. I saw it yesterday,
Yeah.
too. Took my wife, and she liked it. And that's, to me,
Hey.
a sports movie she liked. But I liked it, too. I thought it was very well done.
Likable characters.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Clint Eastwood is not afraid to play what he is now at this stage of his life.
A grumpy old man?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Who talks to chairs.
He didn't do that in the movie. He
No.
talked to his wife's gravestone and he kicked a coffee table. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's a good movie. I'd recommend it.
Justin Timberlake was very good, and Amy Adams, I thought, was fantastic.
And listen very carefully to the play-by-play and the diner scene in the background.
Yeah.
Very carefully.
Very carefully, very briefly.
You won't be able to tell it's us, but it's on.
But if you know them, you might recognize their voices.
In tight to Fernando, it's 1-2. You know, Art Howe was talking with Greg on Astros Live about Fernando Martinez and his tremendous power, something we've discussed this year. And I was talking with one of the Astros coaches. I think he'll be in spring training, and they'll be taking a long look at him as a guy who could do some DHing next year and play the outfield as well.
It's yeah, it's you know, it's going to be another casting call in spring training. You know, obviously a number of these guys will be there. Whatever other players Jeff Luhnow is able to round up to bring to Kissimmee, and there'll be opportunities galore. Martinez is a guy who, he's got some upside. He has not hit for that much power throughout even his minor league career, as you see. You know, you see him just crush some balls, but he hasn't been able to translate that yet.
Right.
In the game situations, and there's some guys that is always the case. They're plenty strong enough, but they don't have the plate discipline to take advantage of that. And that's the question for not only Fernando, but a number of these guys.
True. And what's working in his favor is the Astros status right now. They're looking for young emerging talent. Fernando's 23 years old. Rolls this one out to first base. Garrett Jones with the toss to Burnett. And that's the third out. No runs a hit and a man stranded. No score after one.
One like those two ladies are. Look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, it's a day game. It will be today's game. And hopefully that highlight will be a spectacular Astro occurrence. Brownie?
Well, we've seen some highlights in this series. And probably looking for some along the way here. The infield has shifted around as Pedro Alvarez leads it off in the Pirates' second inning. Shoots that one foul for strike one. 245 for Alvarez in batting average, but good production with that average. 29 homers, 23 doubles. He's driven in 80 runs. He leads third baseman in the National League in homers. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the Pirates have been a good home run hitting team on the road this season. They've hit 99.
Yeah, their ballpark awfully tough to hit home runs. The hitters, they enjoy it when they get out on the road.
Pedro's one of those. He's hit 17 of his 29 homers on the road. That's a foul tip. Foul ball, rather. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Jordan Lyles tries to beat the Buccos. Jordan 4 and 11. And last time out against the Phillies last Sunday, he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. Got a no decision. The Astros won the game 7-6. He's trying to beat the Pirates for the first time in his career. Gets a swing and a miss and a strikeout.
Something Alvarez does a whole bunch. An elevated fastball there to finish the deal. 166 times now that Alvarez has fanned.
Travis Snyder is smoothing out the dirt in the batter's box. Taking a practice swing, now stepping up, age 24, 252, 1 homer, 9 runs batted in for the Buccos. From Kirkland, Washington, a first-round pick of the Blue Jays in 06. Pirates got him in a trade this July 31st for Brad Lincoln. There's ball 1. The Pirates have said that Clint Hurdle will be back as their manager next year. Starting to be a lot of questioning about the general manager, Neil Huntington, now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and even some about President Frank Coonelly in some of the articles in Pittsburgh newspapers. Pirates had beaten the Astros 9 times in a row earlier this season. It's 2-1. Their club record for wins against Houston, 14. They were 14-4 in 66. Against the Astros. Last time they won more than 11 was in 68. Foul ball takes it to 2-2 when they were 13-5 against the Astros. And the Pirates currently 17.5 games out of first. Well, they have really done a fast fade, going 14-32 since the 1st of August.
Yeah, it's going to be fun because the sabermeticians, Baseball Prospectus, Baseball America, all those publications, they're going to do some deep analysis on this club. The way they've collapsed each of the last 2 years, and this team, I think, was obviously maybe the wrong word. Anyway, I think this club was considered to be a better team than last year's team. Last year's team was in first place, but only 5 or 6 games above 500. This club had climbed to 16 above 500. So the idea that they would finish below 500 is really amazing. And number 6 is off the edge, but he got the call.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
Fairly generous strike zone from what we're seeing early. Clint Barmas is the batter. Clint at 226 with 8 homers has 43 runs batted in. He kicked a double play ball last night that really cost him. Fly ball to left center. And he took full responsibility after the game for that. Lyles has a 1-2-3 second, and it's no score.
Blue Star Gala saluting Hall of Fame broadcaster Milo Hamilton. Join us here at Minute Maid Park on Tuesday, October 16th as we celebrate Milo and his 27 seasons of broadcasting Astros baseball. There'll be a cocktail reception, entertainment, and dinner, and your sponsorship of this event benefits the Astros in Action Foundation. Reserve your table today at astros.com/community. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Matt Dominguez leads it off. Home second inning. Milo broadcasting away right behind that Blue Star over in the Astros radio booth. There is A.J. Burnett catching the outside edge. Strike one at 289. Dominguez has 4 homers. He's driven in 12. 1 for 4 last night. He's 1 for 9 in this series. Puts that one in the air, foul. You know, Matt and these young Astros players are probably getting a special kick out of wearing these uniforms. You go back a few
years. These guys weren't born when the Astros were wearing these uniforms.
Here's a surprising uniform factoid coming after this pitch. That's
yeah. He started. Matt knew it, but he was waiting. So, you're not going to ring me up?
He started to go, and he thought maybe not, and then oh yeah, it was strike 3. Tim Timmons said, "Yep, you got it right." The pinstriped Astros uniforms they've worn here since moving into this ballpark in 2000. That's the longest running Houston uniform in history. That's a little shocking to some. Tyler Green comes up next.
It's a cutting edge kind of franchise, Brownie. Always looking to shake things up a little bit. I mean, but some of the variations are very small, right?
Sure.
You know, this rainbow thing was in play for a while, just different takes on it.
Exactly. Subtle changes that made it a different uniform.
Like this one here. Do we know the exact years that they wore the rainbow with the number on the pants? And
well, we can look it up.
Because I wore the rainbow top, but I didn't wear the number on the pants.
Yeah, that was more of a 70s thing, the number on the pants, as I recall. We think it was 74 through 78, somewhere around there. 2-1. We're going to take a look at the whole gamut here, JD.
And then new ones will be unveiled this fall,
November 2nd. Out toward right center field. McCutchen coming in for it, sprinting hard and getting there. He did a good job. 2 outs.
Yeah, he closed on that ball. My goodness. Off the bat, I thought Green had himself a knock.
Looks like a wide receiver coming out of the break. He really put on a burst.
Speedy individual.
Boy, he is. Fluid athlete. He could be your batting champion. Chris Snyder comes up next. The former Pirate at 181 with 7 homers. He's driven in 24. 0 for 3 in this series. And now we've got a very interesting batting race. Here's strike 1. With Posey just 3 points behind McCutchen coming into today. And now that Melky Cabrera has asked for and received the disqualification from winning the batting title on a 1-year only basis from Major League Baseball by agreement with the Players Association. Kind of a strange deal, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Melky's just trying to rehab his image.
Well, he's headed for free agency, right? So trying to make himself more attractive for coming clean. Not that he came clean, but he was caught on a drug test. But then he is rehabbing his image. That uniform was worn from 75 through 79. Took the numeral off the pants after that year. Snyder struck out, and after 2, there's no score.
Shays. On this date in '86, he set a modern major league record by striking out the first 8 Dodgers in a 4-0 shutout. The Shays only allows 2 hits and strikes out 10. Now everyone's getting on the next guy that batted because Tommy Lasorda brought in a pinch hitter to keep him from striking out 9 in a row. A guy by the name of Larry Seed. I'm going to side Jim on that one because Jim faced Larry Seed 3 times in his career. He struck him out twice, but he didn't strike him out that time.
Man.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, I looked it up. He struck him out twice out of 3 times you faced him, but not when a chance to strike out the entire team.
I thought you were going to say he took me deep.
No. He's 0 for 3.
Sure he didn't take me deep?
No, 0 for 3.
All right.
He only was a 186 hitter.
Popped him up that time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a roller, and it's fielded by Tyler Green, but not cleanly. It gets off his glove and on through into center field on a Rod Barajas grounder up the middle.
Like Tyler was trying to take a little peek to see where Barajas was. If he gets it cleanly, he's going to throw him out because Barajas is not very speedy at all. That'll be an E6.
11th error for Green.
Sliding to his left. Just can't corral it.
A.J. Burnett will have a chance to drop down a sacrifice bunt. Puts down a good one. Wallace throwing to Altuve, and that's the 5th sacrifice for Burnett. Barajas to second, 1 out.
For whatever reason, it seems like there's a lot of miscues behind Jordan Lyles.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with a real tangible reason for that, isn't it? AT&T has trivia while we try to figure out that reason. And it is, JD holds the MLB record with his 8 strikeouts to start a game, but who holds the record for consecutive strikeouts in a game? I'm going to say Tom Seaver. There might have been somebody who came along and broke that.
I don't think so. It may have been tied. Seaver got 10 to finish a ball game.
That was the one in San Diego?
Yeah. 10 to finish. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. Presley takes ball 1. Presley has scorched that line drive into the glove of Jordan Lyles to lead off the game. You were talking about errors behind Lyles. He has allowed 17 unearned runs this year. Pirates with that error on a potential double play ball opening the floodgates in the 7th inning last night lost it 4-1. They have been victimized by their own fielding woes lately too. It's 2 balls 1 strike. Minnesota 2, Detroit 2, top of the 6th inning in Detroit. That's quite a race in the AL Central with the White Sox leading the Tigers by 1/2 game.
2/3 of his pitches are fastballs. He's been mixing in a few curveballs. A little 2-seam runner away.
Hawk Harrelson sounded a little down last night.
What happened?
Well, they lost their 4th in a row.
Detroit's really starting to press them now.
They're even in the loss column with 70, but Detroit is playing a doubleheader today to make up the rain out from Friday night.
The Tigers have a whole lot of Minnesota Cleveland or Minnesota Kansas City left. They don't have a very tough schedule.
Out to left center field. Martinez over. 2 outs. AT&T trivia answer about consecutive strikeouts in a game. JD's record is at the beginning of a game. Tom Seaver struck out 10 straight. April 22nd, 1970 against the Padres.
Struck out 19 total in that ball game, which would have established a National League record at the time. It still is, right? Nobody's gotten 20 in the National. No, Kerry Wood got 20.
Yeah.
Clemens got 20 twice.
Josh Harrison struck out in the 1st inning.
Was that one of Seaver's one-hitters?
I think it was. I believe that was a twilight start in San Diego. Not to say that he didn't deserve everything he got on it. There's ball 1. He was certainly overpowering.
It was a 2-hitter.
2-hit. Okay. It's Miami 2, the Mets 2. They're in the middle of the 5th inning, and a David Wright homer has helped the Mets. That's his 19th of the year. There's a ball out of play. Tim Hudson is pitching for Atlanta and has a 2-0 lead in Philadelphia. They go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Tim Hudson, mentioned in the movie Trouble with the Curve.
I like that guy. He can really paint.
You've memorized all the lines already from that movie. Yankees lead Oakland 4-3 after 4. 2-1. We'll see a play here.
Yeah, good play.
Yeah. You know, that looks a little bit like the Peanut Man in the movie.
Yeah.
Trouble with the Curve. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hollywood's amazing, an amazing place. All kinds of things come true.
What was your favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie? Yeah, I really like A League of Their Own.
Yeah, that's good. Ground ball third, backhanded, tough play here, and unable to come up with it. Dominguez will just have to pick up the baseball with Harrison reaching, and Barajas taking third. Infield hit for Harrison.
More misfortune for Lyles. He gets in on Harrison, induces this little ground ball. Dominguez certainly with enough arm to finish that play. Had he been able to pick this ball cleanly, it would not have been an easy play by any stretch with the angle he had.
Dominguez has played errorless ball.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it might have been an ill-fated throw too, with a base runner rounding third.
True.
Chance to throw that ball away. So big early situation here with McCutchen up and a couple guys on base.
McCutchen leads the league in hits with 187 now. And he cracks one on the line to center, and that is a catch in center field by Brandon Barnes. Another dazzler by Barnes in center. This one coming in and then stretching out to his left to snag it and keep the game scored. McCutchen just really drilled this ball.
Yeah, this ball is hit on the screws, and it's got some funky action. Look at the movement on that ball. It's like he's playing a low drawing 1-iron. And another outstanding play by Barnes in center field. He's putting together a nice little highlight reel. And look at that. He gets the lead off.
If baseball players were free agents every year and they had to go in for job interviews, Brandon Barnes could just bring a videotape of his highlight reel catches. Let's look back to St. Louis, though, and see a great catch as well.
at the bottom of the first inning. The leadoff man for the Cardinals, John Jay, with a bid for extra bases. Brandon, a spectacular catch.
And now, sure, he leads off the next inning, of course, and takes strike one from Burnett. 221, one homer, 7 runs batted in. So Burnett, of course, has encountered a lot of hitters who have had trouble with the curve, but he can keep them honest with that fastball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Contemporary of Josh Beckett and Roy Oswalt. Those 3 kind of came into the game at the same time. Hard throwing right-handers.
2-1. So many players go to New York and encounter problems performing as well as they do in other cities. He was 11-11 last year with the Yankees with a 5.15 ERA. It's a foul tip there, and it's 2-2. Ran into immediate problems with his new team in spring training, working on bunting, and he had to have surgery for a facial fracture. He broke a bone near his right eye on a bunting drill in early March, so his season started late. He gets a strikeout. That's number 4.
Got off to a great start this year. Wins have been hard to come by for him lately, as they have been for everybody on this Pirates club, because they just have not been winning many games. Flips the outside corner with a good heater there to finish off Brandon. Burnett 14-3 with a 3.19 ERA through his first 20 starts. Since August 5th, he's 1-5 with a 4.88.
Jordan Lyles is up there against him. That's strike 1 to Lyles. Lyles, with 5 hits and 34 at bats, has a 147 average. He's driven in 3. Altuve's on deck. It's 0-2 for Burnett. Burnett is 7-4 on the road with a 4.29 earned run average. Lyles takes a look at ball 1. You talked about Burnett getting off to that outstanding start. There was another win that he probably earned, you could say, but got a no decision against the Astros in Pittsburgh May 13th. Gave up 2 runs in 8 innings, but got a no decision. The Pirates won that one in the 12th. Fields the 1 hopper. Tosses out Lyles. 2 outs. But such is the lot of a starting pitcher. He was traded to the Pirates in February for a couple of prospects, and the deal works out well for Pittsburgh financially. The Pirates are paying $13 million of the $33 million owed Burnett this year and next. Altuve is the batter. Altuve hit a fly ball to right. Final Sunday home game for the Astros. Just 3 home games remaining. With the St. Louis Cardinals starting tomorrow night. Fernando Abad and Lance Lynn tomorrow night at 7:05. Airtime for Astros Live 6:30.
Has a chance for the kiddos to run the bases after the game here today.
Well, that's right.
Cardinals playing a tough series at Wrigley this weekend. They've split extra inning decisions so far, and they're in the middle of the second scoreless.
Kyle Loesch pitching for St. Louis. He was very good against the Astros in his last start. Has the best winning percentage in the majors right now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cardinals lead the second wild card race by 2.5 games over the Brewers, 3 games over the Dodgers. Brewers are out in front of Washington early. 2-0. They're in the 4th.
It's a shame for Dusty Baker that he was in the hospital in Chicago when the Reds were celebrating winning the NL Central Division last night in Cincinnati. Beating the Dodgers in that game. 2 balls and a strike. Dusty was hospitalized for an irregular heartbeat. Off the plate.
Well, if he's got issues with his ticker, the last thing he needs to do is be around a pennant race or a celebration right now. He needs to kind of relax and get that straightened out.
That's for sure. We saw Hunter Pence on the highlights celebrating in the Giants clubhouse after their win to clinch their second NL West title in the last 3 years. Altuve just backed up away from the plate a little bit before that pitch, and it's ball 4. Don't see hitters move around in the box very much anymore.
No, you see it from him every now and then. He's sniffing out an inside fastball or something.
Yep. Dan Radisson talking with Altuve. Scott Moore comes up. He doubled on a 1-2 pitch inside the left field line in the first inning. That's the Astros' only hit so far.
Steal that bag.
Pirates have just been woeful at preventing the steal. They've allowed 145 and 161 tries. There's ball 1. You gave us the numbers earlier on Burnett and Barajas, so a stolen base attempt would not be shocking at all. And the Astros have been very successful against the Pirates. They've stolen 12 in 13 tries. Barajas throwing out 5%, 4 of 74. Altuve was thrown out last night trying to run in the first inning. That's been the only time Pirates have nailed an Astros base stealer. Tampa Bay leads Toronto 1-0 after 4. B.J. Upton provided the run with a first inning homer, his 26th. Well, there's a report out of Boston. Apparently Tim Bogar and Dave Martinez. Runner going. Here's no throw to second base. It's a strike. Altuve gets his 33rd steal. And the count is 1-1 now.
You wonder sometimes why even cover the bag with a combination of Burnett and Barajas. The likelihood you're going to throw out a guy like Altuve, who's so small, you might be better off just holding your position.
1-1 now to Moore. That's
so what's the report out of Boston, Brady?
Allison Footer said Nick Cafardo is reporting in Boston that the Astros will hire either Tim Bogar of the Red Sox or Dave Martinez of the Rays. Strike, 2-2. There was a report yesterday or the day before that the manager could be named as soon as tomorrow. Red Sox, as you know, are not in contention.
Rays are clinging.
Yeah.
They're very clingy.
So let's see. The Rays are 3.5 games out in the wild card race. So, you know, the Astros have said, well, we're not going to hire somebody from a team still in contention and announce it at that time. Not until they drop out of contention or their season is over. Grounder up the middle. Off the glove of Harrison. Altuve coming to the plate. Harrison with a throw to Barajas, and he tags him out. So the Astros try to get a hustle run, but Harrison recovers, throws home to Barajas, who tags out Altuve. And it's a base hit, but it's no runs a hit and a man left. And it's no score after 3. On that hit by Moore, and it was knocked down by Harrison, but it got away from him a little bit. So with 2 outs, Altuve just kept going, and he was thrown out as Barajas got set for the throw from Harrison and made the tag.
A heck of a play by Harrison.
It's certainly worth a risk with 2 outs, isn't it, JD?
Yeah, why not?
Dave Clark talks with Brandon Laird about it. Strike 1 to Garrett Jones. Jones is 0 for 1.
See that ball kick away. You know, if instincts kick in. Your third base coach said, yeah, go for it, man. You know, Harrison had to do everything just right. How many times you see in a play like that, a player try to retrieve that ball and mishandle it, kick it, make an errant throw?
Quite a bit.
He did everything just right.
Wiles just missed. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Jones. Jones has hit 17 of his 24 homers while he's been in the cleanup spot in the order.
There's that fine line in base running between aggressiveness and recklessness, and I would argue that was just aggressive.
Yep. A low bridging line drive into center field. A hit for Jones. Patty?
Well, get ready for a Paul McCartney invasion. McCartney's On the Run tour is coming here to Minute Maid Park on Wednesday, November 14th. Don't miss your chance to see him for the first time in nearly 7 years. Visit all Ticketmaster location for your tickets, Bill.
We'll do it. JD is very interested in attending that concert.
Maybe I'm amazed.
Pedro Alvarez struck out in the 2nd inning. Pirates have 3 hits. They've all been singles. There's ball 1.
Alvarez will chase that breaking ball down in the dirt and you get ahead of him. He'll expand the strike zone. Last time he struck out chasing a high fastball, but you hang him that curveball, he's going to kill it.
1-1 to Alvarez.
Very strong guy, quick bat, solid base, big, thick tree trunk legs, generates a lot of power.
He's Vanderbilt.
He's just Vanderbilt. He's a seafaring type guy. I think he goes from the Commodores to the Pirates. He just needs to put the Mariners on his resume at some point.
2 balls and a strike. That could be arranged. They're looking for power. Be interesting though, because the Pirates have gotten some criticism for not doing more to improve their club at the trade deadline. So now, what will their mix be for next year? You know, the perception is the club fades this badly in the second half of the season. Some changes are required.
Well, that's where, you know, leadership at the top becomes very important. You can't just react to a bad year and start firing people because you had a bad year. If you feel like the guy, the general manager or the manager is not capable or is not the right guy for the job, then, you know, I guess by all means. But, you know, so many times in baseball you see clubs react just to bad circumstances when they have good people already in place. And this is a club that's on the rise. Despite this bad second half, they have a wealth of pitching talent in their minor league system. I think they are where they should be anyway. I don't think they were ever that good. I think they overachieved for a stretch.
Struck him out. Number 4 for Lyles.
And, you know, Neil Huntington gets criticized because he didn't make bigger or more impactful deals at the trade deadline, but you don't know those conversations that were going on. There was probably a lot of folks going, yeah, we want Tyon, we want Cole, and all these frontline pitchers that could they could set them up to be really good for a real long time, and those guys are getting awfully close.
Snyder's up. He struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. There's strike 1. The Astros have been going with this 6-man rotation, and so it's been a week since Lyles pitched last Sunday. Tony DeFrancesco said on Astros Live that Bud Norris might not be able to make his next scheduled start. They there may be an adjustment to the plans that they've had. And also, Edgar Gonzalez hurt his right hamstring in the game Friday night, but Edgar is hoping that that will not cost him a turn. Jordan threw 84 pitches his last time out a week ago. Popped up. Got a play, and it's 1-2. Twins are trying to spoil the day for the Tigers. They hung a 5 spot on Detroit in the top of the 6th inning, and they lead 5-2 after 6 now. Atlanta 2, the Phillies nothing after 5, and Philadelphia with a David Ross home run helping the Braves against Cliff Lee. That's Ross's 8th of the year. Brian McCann really banged up. It's out to left center field. Martinez comes over. 2 down. And Barmes will be next. Oakland and the Yankees played a wild one last night. Won in extra innings by the Yankees after they fell behind by 4. They're tied 4-4 in the bottom of the 5th today. Swisher hit his 22nd for New York.
Well, I read the A's hit 3 home runs in the 13th inning.
They did.
Still lost the ball game.
They did. Yeah, that was very discouraging for them. Tough loss for them. And then the Yankees almost blew it. They had a rookie who missed third base on what could have been the winning run, so he had to go back, and he couldn't score on that hit, but they wound up winning.
Yankees won 2-1 Friday in 10 innings, then 10-9 last night in 14.
1 ball, 1 strike. Oakland and Baltimore are just percentage points away from each other in the wild card race. Baltimore 13 percentage points better. Well, 2 games actually better, but Oakland has a 2.5 game lead over the Angels for that second wild card spot.
And Joe Girardi, the manager of the Yankees, saying the playoffs started in mid-September this year.
It's a liner into center field. Good way to put it.
Yeah, for so many of these clubs, it's a lot of playoff-like games as they scramble to try to either win a division or clinch a wild card spot.
Now 2 singles in the inning. Barmes catching that one near the end of the bat. Keeps the inning alive for Barajas, who reached on the error earlier by Tyler Green. Snyder and Lyles talking it over.
And Barajas, you got to be careful with him too. He doesn't hit for average, but he's got power. Below 200, but with 10 jacks.
Baltimore has tied Boston 1-1. They're in the top of the 5th inning at Fenway. The Orioles are 11-0 in extra inning games on the road. Ground ball, and Green gets another shot to his left. A toss not in time to second base. No force play as Barmes beats that toss. And the bases are loaded as Barajas again hits it to the left of Green. And something good happens for the Pirates.
Last time Tyler couldn't field the ball cleanly. This time probably a bad decision. I think he's better off going to first base here to throw out Barajas. That's a long way to make a backhanded flip. It's hard to get a whole lot on that. I think if he squares his shoulders and makes a good strong throw to first, he's probably going to get the slow-footed Barajas.
I have to agree with you. It's ruled a fielder's choice.
Good hustle by Barmes.
But again, Lyles finding that things don't go all that well in the field behind him, and now you get a chance to get Burnett to get out of bases loaded trouble. AJ put down a sac bunt in the 3rd.
Enjoy it now, fellas. Next year this will be in the American League. There will not be a pitcher in the batter's box.
Oh boy.
I mean, there'll still be a 9-hole hitter.
What a difference, though, pitching to that American League lineup compared to National League lineups with a pitcher batting. Little dribbler goes third base side and foul. Garrett Jones was coming in and he sashayed out of the way of the baseball, and that's why the runners are taught to stay in foul territory, because if the ball hits them in fair territory, they're out.
Take that right turn.
That's going to be interesting to see, you know, what attempt is made to kind of work on the mindset of the Astros pitchers for that transition to the American League. Not that they haven't pitched in interleague games on the road. They certainly have, but this time it's going to be the great percentage of their starts are made without the pitcher batting.
I don't know that there'll be a whole lot of conversation about the mindset other than just go play, just go pitch. The game's not, it's not that different.
But don't you really assume if you're making that kind of transition, I'm going to have longer innings. I'm going to have to really work harder to get out of jams now without that number 9 guy to get me out of trouble with the bases loaded sometimes.
I think you're aware of the fact that you're going to be up against some tougher lineups, but I don't think it affects your thinking of the way you approach the game. There are going to be times where you're thinking, man, I wish there was a pitcher standing in this batter's box right now.
Ground ball to Green. And he gets Burnett. So the pitcher grounds into the inning ending out, and it's no runs, 2 hits, 3 men left, and no score.
Is brought to you by the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink. It's only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. Well, in the top of this inning, Jordan Lyles had to survive some things that happened to him again. That's a positive because sometimes he hasn't been able to do that. As the year goes on, he's getting a little bit better at it.
Yeah, he's battled throughout the season, Greg, and as you well know, it's been difficult for Astros starting pitchers to come up with wins. They've had a total of 38 all season from their starting pitchers. 2 starts ago, Jordan pitched 5 shutout innings here against the Cubs in that 1-0 win, and he has shutout ball here through 4, but he has had to work. So now in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Astros have their 3, 4, 5 hitters due up against Burnett, Wallace, Fernando Martinez, and Dominguez.
Wally struck out back in the 1st inning on a hard breaking ball and a 3-2 count from A.J. Burnett.
Greg interviewed Wally after the game Friday night. I was asking him about hitting his first home run at home all season, and he told Greg about hearing it from his teammates, so they were well aware that all 7 of his homers had come away from home until then. He's hit .290 lifetime against the Pirates. He hit a no-doubter Friday night. Strike 1. After Dallas Keuchel's excellent start and win last night, he has a 2.95 home ERA for 10 starts. Milwaukee 2, Washington nothing after 4 at Washington. Sharp breaking ball. 0-2.
He's going to lean heavily on that curveball now until Wally convinces him that he's going to lay off of it. He might not throw another one here. He may take a shot with a fastball up or way out. He's kind of got that curveball in his back pocket now.
That's in for a strike. Strikeout number 5. Here's a look back at Dallas Keuchel's work last night.
7 innings of 1-run baseball for the lefty. Nice to see him get some swings and misses.
5 punch outs, 1 walk in 7 innings, 90 pitches. Strike 1 to Fernando Martinez.
I was looking at some numbers here, Browning.
Okay.
We were talking about the American League versus the National League. Yeah. Team batting average for all American League teams this year is .255. For National League teams, it's .254. On base percentage 320 to 318. Slugging average 411 to 401.
Interesting.
So very similar, really, across the board.
Yep. Very interesting. Maybe people make too big a deal out of that.
I think they do. I think a lot of it is just, you know, what division you're in, what kinds of lineups you're against. You know, you facing the Yankees is a little different story than facing the Seattle Mariners. Mariners are dead last in the American League in runs scored. Oakland, for all their success this year, are 11th in the American League in runs scored in a 14-team league. And the Rangers and the Angels, that's a different story. Those two clubs are going to be awfully tough to pitch to.
They are.
But they would be tough to pitch to even if their pitcher was in the lineup.
Detroit. Be tough. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Giovanni Gallardo's pitching for Milwaukee, and he has not lost since the trade of Zach Greinke by the Brewers. Chen-Min Wong got the start for Washington. Well, that curveball is something. He gets strikeout number 6.
Yeah, and it seems like as the game's gone along, he's gotten better and better feel for it. Really throwing a lot of good, hard, tight ones down and into these lefty hitters.
Batting average against him is almost identical for right-handed and left-handed batters. Matt Dominguez struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Strike 1 to Matt. Cardinals and Cubs, no score after 2 in Chicago. Justin Germano going for Chicago against Kyle Loesch. Line, and there's the catch by Harrison for the 3rd out. Scoreless through 4.
We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Well, here's what the Astros will drive out to the mound tomorrow. Fernando Abad. He comes in with an 0-5 record with a 5.1 earned average, but his last start was actually the best that he has had, and he'll be going in the game tomorrow night, making his 6th Major League start after most of his career in the bullpen. He says everything's safe, and I'm ready to go. Tomorrow, Fernando Abad. Guys?
Against the St. Louis Cardinals, who treated the Astros roughly. They swept them last week, so the Astros get a second shot at home. Here is Presley leading it off in the 5th inning. He has lined back to the pitcher and fly to left. Here's ball 1. The Astros are 8-7 in their last 15 games. They would love to continue that with a win today and then get this first series sweep of a 3-game set since May when they swept the Cubs. They haven't had a 3-game winning streak for 107 games. And then if they could do a nice job against the Cardinals, it would really be a good, nice start to the week. That's in for a strike, and that makes it 2-1. Big weekend here with the Legends Luncheon, and they were honored on the field last night. One of the great players in the history of the franchise coming back, swapping some old tales. A liner into right field. Presley's aboard. He's 1 for 3 now.
The 5th inning has been a big problem for Jordan this year, and whether he's let that crawl inside his head or not, but you can understand if he did.
There they were last night. Roger Clemens, Craig Reynolds, Alan Ashby, Jeff Bagwell, Enos Cabell there, Craig Biggio, of course, Jimmy Wynn, Cesar Cedeno, the old gang back in town.
Operative word being old.
J.O. Cruz, of course. Harrison bats. He's 1 for 2. Pitch out there. And now it's 1-0. It'll be Abad, Harrell, and we're not sure about Norris in a 3-game series against the Cardinals. Lynn, Garcia, and Carpenter. Chris Carpenter has made 1 start since returning from his almost season-long injury, and that'll be number 2. Bud Norris just trying to get himself healthy again, and he has some issues, so he may not be making that start.
Looks like get obsessed with Alex Presley here.
Well, a lot of people have been obsessed with Presley down through the decades, JD. When Presley's in the building, people pay attention. Two balls, no strikes.
1 pitch out. And then a quick pitch. Trying to be quick to home, misfiring, falling behind Harrison. 2-0 now.
Suspicious minds led to that pitch out, but and now leads to falling behind in the count. 2-0.
He's stolen 9 bases, but he's been caught 6 times. He's not a great base stealer. It's only the 5th inning. So many times in this game that you work so hard to prevent that 1 base or that 1 run, you set yourself up for the big inning that ultimately is your undoing. There's that breakdown we've showed throughout the season on Jordan. Now 3rd time through the lineup has been a real issue for him, and that's where he is right now. For me, with that in mind, I would want all of his energies focused on just getting outs. At this stage in the game. 7th inning or later, still tight, by all means.
That's in for a strike. Make it 2-1.
Harrison showing bunt there, but he was just taking all the way. Now, if Clint Hurdle were inclined to play a little hit and run, this would be a good count to do it on it. You anticipate the pitcher being around the plate, something your hitter should be able to get the bat on the ball. Got an infield that is by now keenly aware of the fact that he may run. So they're going to be a little jittery, looking to break to cover the bag, and that will create some openings. It's just, does Hurdle trust Harrison to be a guy? Is he a good contact guy, or does he swing and miss a lot?
He's going. Bouncer into left field, and he'll keep going to third base. Well, it works well for the Pirates as a high chopping single by Harrison advances Presley first to third with nobody out.
And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. When you work so hard to shut down that running game, you put the hitter in a favorable count, you give the other manager options, and now they got Dominguez pulled way in on a hit and run play. They go first to third on this base hit to left field. I'm not so sure why Dominguez was so far in there either.
You wouldn't be thinking bunt on a 2-0 count, would you?
Yeah, it was 2-1, but even then, yeah, at that point.
Well, now first and third, nobody out for McCutchen. McCutchen single to center and line to center. Andrew is second in the league in total bases with 313. Ryan Braun leads.
The other thing, all the pitch outs and the throw overs and all those things do is they take the mentality of the pitcher from one of I'm aggressive, I'm going after hitters, to and we're definitely afraid of this, giving up this run, and we're going into a defensive mindset as opposed to let's just attack hitters here.
Bouncer goes foul, third base side, 1-1. No balls, 2 strikes to count on McCutchen. Cardinals got 3 in the top of the third at Chicago to lead 3-0. 1-2. Cleveland 3, Kansas City 1. They're playing in the 6th inning at Kansas City. Carlos Santana hit his 17th for the Indians. White Sox and Angels just getting ready to start, and it's going to be Jared Weaver for the Angels. Gavin Floyd for the White Sox, and a big challenge for them. Bouncer goes foul again. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Angels are hanging in there.
They really are. Could have faded. Well, apparently the latest is that Mike Scioscia will be back as their manager. That's what the owner, Artie Moreno, has said. Texas starts later this afternoon at Seattle with Ryan Dempster on the mound against Jason Vargas. Good try, but it's another ball, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dodgers are at Cincinnati tonight. Harang versus Bailey. Cincinnati and Washington very close for the best record in the National League. The Reds have a .605 winning percentage. The Nationals .609 right now. All back. Still 2-2. McCutchen with his hit here, 1 for 2, is 8 for 13 lifetime against Lyles. Garrett Jones is on deck. The Pirates have had 19 consecutive losing seasons. Right now they're 3 games under 500, 74 and 77. Ball 3, and it's a full count.
Curveball's been a little unreliable for Jordan today. He's been mostly a fastball pitcher. You know, he's mixing in his curveball for sure, but I don't think he has a lot of confidence in it as a put-away pitch. He needs to make a pitch here, though. That's for sure.
Yep. Pirates will head for New York after this game. They open a 4-game series Monday night. Runner going from first. It's foul. Ball is over, and that ball will be back in the seats.
Well, that series will feature two teams with a similar story. The Mets, like the Pirates, had a nice run earlier this year, and people were starting to get excited in New York, thinking that perhaps the Mets would be able to hang in. Obviously, that has not happened.
Very disappointing developments in the second half of the season for the Mets have taken them down.
They're 68 and 83 now. Just woeful at home, but they have such a hard time scoring at Citi Field. They were playing over their heads earlier anyway. You could see this collapse coming. The New York one more so than the Pirate.
Right. R.A. Dickey, though, has been a bright spot, and he'll be pitching Thursday afternoon against the Pirates, shooting for his 20th win. Gio Gonzalez got number 20 for the Nationals last night. He has just had a dazzling year for them. And even without Steven Strasburg, it's going to be an interesting Nationals rotation for postseason, and a good one. Runner takes off on 3-2. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Wow, it was a good looking pitch.
Sure was.
That's a good 3-2 pitch there. I don't know how McCutchen laid off of that.
It's his 64th walk of the year and the first of the day for Lyles. Tony DeFrancesco is making his way to the mound. Wesley Wright, the left-hander, in the bullpen. He will be coming in to face Garrett Jones, then another lefty hitter, Alvarez, then another one, Snyder, stacked up in the lineup. No score. Back in a moment. Up the Subway Sub Prize on the line gives us a look at the National League wild card. Atlanta has a 6-game lead on St. Louis. The Cardinals in that number 2 wild card position as of now are 2.5 in front of Milwaukee, 3 in front of the Dodgers, and 4 in front of Philadelphia.
Now Wesley Wright works for the 73rd time. He's 2-2 with a 3.14 ERA. Pirates have 3 consecutive left-handed batters scheduled to hit here, and Wesley's got a chance to be a hero. Bases loaded, nobody out. And it looks like they're going to hit for Jones with Gabby Sanchez. These managers are grinding at it here in the 5th inning of this game.
It is way earlier than normal for moves like this, but it's September baseball. They have a lot of extra players and urgency for the Pirates, certainly. Sanchez at 226 with 7 homers, has 28 runs batted in. Sanchez, since he joined the Pirates from the Marlins, has hit 271, and he has a .448 slugging percentage, much better than what he did in a Marlins uniform. Sanchez hit a homer last night in the 2nd inning off Dallas Keuchel, going 1 for 3. Bases loaded, nobody out. Fouls out for strike 1. Jones singled in 2 trips. So it's Presley, Harrison, and McCutchen on base. Sanchez just turned 29. He's from Miami, Florida. Went to the University of Miami. He's hit .253 against lefties with 3 homers. He was traded this July to the Pirate Club to help out at first base. And that's what he's done. He's platooned there with Garrett Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now they're platooning in this very game. 216 is his lifetime bases loaded average with 1 grand slam. Mickey Story warming up for Houston. Sanchez had a game-winning hit in Florida against the Astros in April. That one hit him to make it 1-0 Pittsburgh. Sanchez hit by the pitch, forcing in Presley. Harrison to third, McCutchen to second.
That's when you want to yell at the guy. Get out of the way, man. It's not doing either one of us any good.
Did you see Yadier Molina yesterday?
They did not.
Getting out of the way of an inside pitch. He hurt his back. Had to take him out of the game. Now Alvarez looks at ball 1. Alvarez has struck out both times. And Molina will check, but we don't think he's in the lineup today for St. Louis.
What do you do, bend backwards?
Yeah, he just really wrenched it. And apparently that was an injury that had caused him to miss a few games earlier this year.
Wesley Wright certainly much more in his comfort zone with a left-handed hitter in the box. Lefty's hitting just .211 off Wesley. Right-handed batters .288.
Yeah, Tony Cruz is catching today for St. Louis. Tap foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alvarez. Pirates have a losing record in the NL Central, 37-40. Tap goes foul, and it's still a 1-2 count to Alvarez with Snyder on deck.
Astros have known their fate for a good long while. Hasn't been the case for the Pirates. It's been more in the last 6 weeks or so that they've really gone south. But they have to feel like they're in just in a bad nightmare that they can't wake up from. Going from the toast of the town in Pittsburgh, that place was energized. People were coming to the ballpark. They were all jacked up. And now they're staring down the barrel of their 20th consecutive losing season. The wild card is not realistic. There's 6.5 games out there.
In the dirt for ball 2. It's 2-2. Minnesota's now out in front of Detroit 8-2 in the top of the 8th inning.
What's your favorite baseball movie, Brownie?
Yeah, I kind of like For the Love of the Game.
Natural was good too. The
Natural was very good.
Bull Durham.
Yeah. I kind of liked 8 Men Out too. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There haven't been that many good ones, have there?
No, they really haven't.
Been a lot of bad ones. The Sandlot, hadn't heard of that one.
That's about the kids.
Okay. Swinging a foul ball there keeps the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Do you think most people rent movies these days rather than go to the theater?
Well, I know there's a lot of people that
or buy them.
Netflix. Still like the magic of the big screen, Brownie.
Oh yeah. Dolby sound. Food.
Thomas Dolby invent that?
I don't know. I don't know who Thomas Dolby was.
He was a kind of a rocker
okay.
a couple decades ago.
Got me on that one. Struck him out. And that's out number 1 as Wesley Wright gets Alvarez looking.
The signature tune was You Blinded Me with Science. You might not remember that song.
No.
From the MTV generation of the 80s.
I do not recall that.
That's 3 strikeouts for Alvarez. 2 swinging and now just frozen it with that Wesley Wright heater.
So potentially a very big out. Now we get another pinch hitting move. Jose Tabata is going to bat for Snyder. And Clint Hurdle really trying to get percentages in his favor so he can go for a big inning here in the 5th. But Tony DeFrancesco,
yeah, baby.
He's got another move in his sleeve.
We appeal to the commissioner of baseball to change the rules of September baseball. Please, Mr. Commissioner.
It's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Back in a moment.
We'll take home a J.R. Richard back-to-back 300 strikeout seasons bobblehead courtesy of Xfinity. Root now and buy tickets at Astros.com or by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS. Bill?
Patty, are you being bothered by allergies right now?
Do I sound a little congested?
A little nasal, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just I don't think it's allergies as much as it is just the good old cold.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Mickey Story is 0-1 with a 4.21 ERA, 25 2/3 innings. He comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out. And it's Jose Tabata, who in the last 9 games has gone 7 for 20, hitting .350. He's the pinch hitter for Snyder. Clint Barmas on deck.
A good time just before that first pitch for all the fielders to kind of do a mental check. Okay, we've been on here a long time. Just let's reset. Make sure where the base runners are, who's on base, who can run, who can't run, how many outs are there in the inning, where do I go if I get a ground ball hit to me.
Another one upstairs makes it 2-0.
Did I put enough money in the meter to cover the parking for 6 hours of baseball? Altuve, he's turning around, checking the out. Okay, yep, 1 out. Ground ball up the middle. I'll step on the bag, throw to first. Head to the dugout.
3-0.
Top big disappointment for the Pirates this year. Sent down to the minor leagues early, just never really got going. Still a pretty young guy.
He's hit .279 since he was recalled August 19th. And he draws a bases loaded walk to make it 2-0. So a hit batter with the bases loaded. Now a walk have given the Pirates the first 2 runs in this game. Tabata picking up the RBI and bringing up Barmas.
Both of those runs charged to Jordan Lyles. He's responsible for McCutcheon now, who's on third base as well.
Barmas single to center in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. Pirates leaded by a couple, and Burnett is throwing well today. That's in for a strike. It's looked all along as if the high strike was there today.
Yeah, that doesn't really suit Mickey Story very well, though, because he's a breaking ball pitcher, and you don't want to throw many high breaking balls.
No. Got a late swing there from Barmas, and it's 0-2.
He just wasn't ready to hit, and by the time he got that front foot down and the hand started, that ball was by him.
Out to left center field and shallow. Here's Tyler Green out sliding and can't make the play. A run is home, and it's 3-0 Pittsburgh. Martinez couldn't get there, and Green tries sliding over the shoulder play. Barmas with contact gets the pop fly RBI single, his 44th RBI of the year, to make it 3-0.
Boy, you talking about an inning. This is right off the end of the bat, and Fernando, he's got a horrible jump. I don't know if had he gotten a good jump, if he would have been in position to make a play on that ball, but he got no jump at all. And Tyler Green tries to make a circus catch, comes up empty. So all 3 runs now come across home plate to the record of Jordan Lyles.
Ouch. Barajas is 0 for 2.
It's just a good solid single by Presley, and really what started the whole inning for me was just the defensive nature with the pitch out and then all the throw overs. And Harrison hits that little chopping hit and run over through the hole on the left side with Dominguez playing way in. Really set the tone for this whole inning. Here we go again.
Yeah, looping soft single to left field, scoring 1. And it's 4-0.
Gotta be kidding me.
29th RBI for Barajas. He's the 8th man to bat. Now Burnett comes up with 1 out.
I don't know if we have a shot at top rounding third base or not, but it's worthy of 3 Stooges.
Okay.
I don't know if we get it or not, but it's pretty comical. Look at him.
Oh, he's got both arms akimbo there. Does that help slow you down?
I don't know.
Double windmill technique. And with the wind resistance, he's able to get back to third. Check this out.
Check him out.
This is beautiful.
He's like, I'm not going to run hard, but I'm going to pump my arms hard to make it look like I'm trying to score. Maybe I can draw a throw.
Burnett the batter. And there's strike 1. Corner infielders in tight for Burnett. They put down a sac bunt, and he grounded out. He's hitting .053. 3 hits and 57 at bats.
His best play here might be the strikeout, just to stay out of the double play and give Presley a chance with the bases loaded.
Sometimes no contact is preferable to contact. He took care of that part of it. He struck out to give Presley a chance.
Wonder if anybody will tell him good job when he goes back to the dugout. Way to stay out of the double play, AJ.
"40 pitches have been thrown this inning by 3 different Astros pitchers. Presley got it started with a single to right field. Jordan Lyles in 4 innings allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, walking 1, fanning 4. He threw 80 pitches. Strike to Presley. Wesley Wright in 1/3 of an inning allowed 0 hits and 1 run. No walks, 1 strikeout, a hit batter. Pirates had scored 2 runs in the first 2 games of this series. Now with the Big Bang Theory, they've scored 4 in this frame. And it's 1-1 to Presley. Check swing. Story knocks it down, recovers, throws, and gets him. And the Pirates put up a 4 spot in the 5th inning. On 4 hits, they lead 3, and they're in front 4-0. Ten men to the plate. Now Gabby Sanchez, who was a part of that inning as a pinch hitter, he was hit by a pitch and got an RBI on it. And Jose Tabata, he also came up as a pinch hitter and drew a bases loaded walk. They stay in this game to play first base and right field respectively. And it's a 4-0 lead for A.J. Burnett, who's shooting for win number 16 of the year. He's given up 2 hits, both to Scott Moore in his first 4 innings. Throwing the ball well. It'll be Green, Snyder, and Barnes up for Houston in the home 5th.
Burnett has allowed just 2 base hits so far in this game, both by Scott Moore. 1 out double in the first, and then a single back in the 3rd.
This one a 1 hopper. Barmes One pitch, one out in the home fifth for Burnett. Minnesota's really bouncing Detroit, leading 10-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Miami and the Mets are tied 2-2 after 8. It's Atlanta 2, Philadelphia 1, top of the 9th in Philly. Jonathan Papelbon pitching with his club trailing by a run. And Oakland leads the Yankees 5-4 after 6 in New York. Chris Snyder struck out in the 2nd inning. Burnett shooting for win number 16. As we mentioned, he is the first Pirate 15 game winner since '99 when Todd Ritchie did it. Strike one to Snyder. And this is a top victory total for him in a season since he won 18 with Toronto in 08. Last time a Pirate hurler won more than 15 was Zane Smith with 16 wins in '91. No balls, 2 strikes. Also that year, John Smiley went 20-8. Check swing call goes Chris Snyder's way on the Marty Foster call, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Burnett has pitched into the 6th inning in each of his last 25 starts. Missing there, and it's 2-2. I was asking Bob Walk because he threw a sharp breaking ball in the last inning. Was it a slider? He said no, he just calls it a curveball, fastball curve changeup.
Just kind of manipulates it a little bit, throws it a little softer, a little harder. Maybe he'll change his arm angle a little bit.
Still 2-2 for A.J. Burnett. Baltimore and Boston are locked in a 1-1 game through 7 in Boston. Milwaukee and Washington are tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th at Washington. The Astros will head for Milwaukee on Thursday after this home ends. They'll have 3 there and 3 at Wrigley Field to wind up the season. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Nothing unique about seeing Chris Snyder run the count full. He does that quite often.
He does.
Got a little wardrobe malfunction there for Barajas.
Pad underneath his protector, or attached to his protector. A shoulder pad. Yeah, Bob Watson took a foul ball off the tip of his right shoulder. And that hampered him for the rest of his career. A lot more padding now for catchers. Well, there it's still 3-2, and he said I was good for about 1 or 2 throws per game. Moved from behind the plate, played some first base and some outfield after that. Not some, a lot. He's an ecstatic youngster with the rainbow gear on. The air foul for Snyder. You know, you're talking about Snyder working the count, which he's done well this year. Jed Lowry does that too. Those 2 guys have really helped to stretch out an inning against an opposing pitcher. Strike 3. That's number 7.
Burnett just continues to make quality pitches here on the 3-2 offering, and he comes back with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right over the outside corner at the knees.
just waiting to hear the decision from the high court.
Yeah.
Which way am I going? Am I turning right or am I going straight? Let me know, Tim. Not trying to show you up or anything, just let me know.
Ryan Bogusevic on deck as Brandon Barnes bats. He struck out looking in the third inning. He's going to play in Venezuela in the offseason. Chopper to third. Alvarez with a throw. Make it a quick fifth inning for Burnett and a 4-0 Pirate lead. And the Astros, who had a 0-0 game going to the fifth, now trying to get some good shutdown pitching from this point on so their offense can go to work against A.J. Burnett, who's been tough. Burnett has allowed just 2 hits through the first 5 innings. These orange-clad folks are hoping to see some offense when the bottom of the 6th inning comes around. For right now, it's Mickey Story, and it'll be Harrison leading it off with McCutchen and Sanchez to follow in the Pirates' 6th inning. Clint Hurdle was talking after the game when Craig Biggio threw out that first pitch Friday night about having that seat in the dugout, the same seat he had when he was here in 2007 managing the Colorado Rockies, watching Biggio get his 3,000th hit against that club that night. So he's seen a lot of Biggio being saluted by the fans in this ballpark. There is strike one. Harrison with 2 hits and a run scored, having a nice day so far. He also made that throw to the plate to get Jose Altuve trying to score. It's no balls, 2 strikes for Mickey Story. One and two. Pirates have had a .304 winning percentage since August 1st. They had a .318 winning percentage the final 2 months last year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Story throws that one, and it's ball 3. A full count here to Harrison with McCutchen on deck.
Trying to get him to chase that hard breaking ball off the outside corner. Let's see if he goes back to that first swing and miss curveball. He took a little off and dropped it into the strike zone. Heater.
Out to right center field. That's looping and diving, unable to make the catch more. It's a hit for Harrison, his 3rd in a row. Moore gave it all he had, but Harrison hit it to a good spot for the Pirates.
Hopefully McCartney can be as good as Harrison is here at Minute Maid Park.
If so, he'll be a star. And it's McCutchen now up for the third time. He has a 1-for-2 day coming, going so far with a walk and a run scored. There's strike one. He also lined out to center field on that catch by Barnes, so McCutchen has looked good at the plate so far today. Currently he's hitting .336. Melky Cabrera probably got some points with his Giant teammates because Buster Posey, his former teammate, could win that batting title as well. So kind of clears himself out of the way to give Buster a shot. Buster is second by 3 points to McCutchen, and nobody else is in the hunt. Yadier Molina is at .319. McCutchen leads the league in runs scored and hits. Second in total bases. Big year for him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pirates did well.
A big year you could see coming. I mean, he was an all-star player last year. And these guys, as soon as he came into the league, you knew he was something special.
First year was 09. Runner going, and it's in the air outside the right field line, back out of play. So just thinking about some of the Astros top choices from the draft this year and in previous years, just to see what McCutchen has done. McCutchen's 25. Now sure, he's the best of the best in terms of a first round pick who really turned out well. He was the 11th player drafted in 05, so he was expected to be outstanding. He arrived on the major league scene in 09, 4 years after being drafted. Pitch out there, takes the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Had a good first year, and he's built on that.
Yeah, I would think. First round pick out of high school, a 17, 18-year-old kid. 3-4 years is what you would expect before they got to the big leagues. There are exceptions, of course.
Runner goes. That's whacked a long way to left center field. Barnes watching the flight of this one. And that ball bangs off the wall, stays in play in left center, scores a run to make it 5-0, an RBI double for McCutchen. Well, that looked like he might have hit it well enough to get it out of here, but settles for the run producing double, his 27th of the year, giving him 93 runs batted in. McCutchen's right on the ball today.
He's had a couple 4-hit games against the Astros already this year. Bangs that one off the wall just above the Pirate bullpen. 2 hits, a walk, and the best ball he hit all day went for an out. He hit that screaming line drive to center field. He hit that ball harder than even this one.
Now Bogusevic's running out to center field. Barnes coming in. The pitcher will go into the number 8 spot. Bogusevic will bat 9th, playing center field and leading off the next inning. We'll be right back.
Chevy that Chevy has a show called Chevy Hometown Kids. Every Saturday morning, Emily Rippert hosts it. That's Saturday at 10 a.m. on Fox Sports Houston. If you want to see some of the older shows, you can go to hometownkids.tv. It's a nice website. You can get all up to date. They were once hometown kids. They've gotten older now.
Yeah. It is 5-0, 10 hits for the visiting Pirates, prompting another pitching change. Chucky Fick is in the game, facing Gabby Sanchez. Sanchez was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded and later scored.
He hasn't had a chance to pitch that much lately. He's grown a beard since he last pitched.
That was 4 days ago at St. Louis.
Yeah, he's quick. He's like a chia pet. I think came in a hurry.
Bogusevic against center field. Hit in the air, and Wallace chases it up the right field line, going into foul territory, and just about made it.
Just a little bit short-armed it there, as he's not quite sure how much room he had. Boy, he went a long way, though.
He did. About as far up that line as you can see a first baseman go and make a play. And once he runs that far, it's a little concern where that barrier is, as you mentioned, but
yeah, especially when you're running that hard, you don't have a whole lot of time to slam on the brakes.
Well, the Cardinals had a right fielder who banged up his knee going into that. Alan Craig last year had to have surgery. Foul back, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. A lot of rainbows in the crowd today.
If you want the rainbow, you got to deal with the rain.
In tied a ball, that makes it 2-2. Well, it's been a great weekend for giveaways with these retro shirts going to the fans, and I really like that bonus giveaway from Friday night, JD, that art print from Opie Otterstadt.
Suitable for hanging.
Oh yeah, it's already framed. Tap foul. He's painted a look at several important scenes from Astros history, all fitting on the same canvas.
A montage, if you will.
Yes, he did an outstanding job. He's got to be one of the best sports artists around, and has been for many years. McCutchen at second base, nobody out. Drops down, gets a bouncer there to Wallace. It's a fair ball. Surprising he was in foul territory with his feet, but that doesn't matter. He reached back, and the ball was ruled a fair ball for out number one. McCutchen taking third base.
Yeah, look where that ball bounces. It's a few inches foul, and then it kicks back the other way with some funky spin back into fair territory.
It did.
Marty Foster doing a nice job staying with the play.
Yep. Sometimes assumptions are made, and the baseball takes a weird turn. Now it's an intentional walk to Alvarez, who struck out 3 times in this game. But he's being shown that sign of respect with the free pass, putting him on for Tabata. So it'll be first and third and 1 out on the intentional pass to Alvarez. Tabata drew a walk himself with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. McCutchen's on there. McCutchen has scored 103 runs now this season. Bill Gilbert always sends us a list of the triple milestone guys. By triple milestone guys, we include players who have hit 300 or better, hit 30 or more homers, driven in 100 or more runs, and McCutchen almost certainly will get that. He's got all the numbers except the RBIs, and he's at 93 on those. He also has the bonus of scoring over 100.
Yeah, there was a period of time there where, that 330, 100 RBIs, and you kind of go, yeah, so what? There's a ton of guys doing it. Players were taking liberties. Now it's taking on more meaning again.
Sure has. We have the list from this year. Miguel Cabrera's already made it. Ryan Braun has made it. Adrian Beltre will make it with a few more runs batted in. Pitch to Tabata, and that's a strike, making 0-2. Prince Fielder should make it. He needs just a few more homers. And Billy Butler might make it. He has 27 homers, 98 runs batted in as of a few days ago, and a 3.08 average. McCutchen and Matt Holliday are there in the doorstep.
Miguel Cabrera has a chance to win a triple crown.
Boy, isn't that something?
Hasn't happened since Yaz in '67. He's leading in batting average. He's tied with Josh Hamilton for first in home runs with 42, and he's got a 9 RBI lead over Hamilton in that category.
Ooh. And Hamilton's missing a few days with an injury.
He's got some sinus problems.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a sinus, not an injury.
Well, he's got an injured sinus cavity. A strained sinus cavity.
That's chopped and it goes foul. Well, we've heard of these. You can have a fractured sinus, right? For instance, if you would get hit in the face with a baseball, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
And that
crush that sinus cavity.
Oh boy, that's a rough one. Yeah, those triple milestone guys are really the cream of the crop. Bouncer goes foul. And that's in one season. And the guys who do it over and over and over again are on Hall of Fame paths in their career. JD Martinez gets that one up to somebody in the stands.
Oop, got away with one there.
He sure did.
See him pound his glove in frustration. He knew he'd missed his spot.
Now, you've talked about this. Sometimes a pitcher will throw 5 or 6 innings and he'll be interviewed after the game and say, well, I made one mistake. But sometimes pitchers forget about balls like that.
Yeah.
It's a mistake, but it was fouled off. It didn't hurt him.
You know, that's the one everybody focuses on. The story is he made one mistake because the mistake got hit in the second deck. He got beat with that one mistake, but even a guy who pitches a complete game, throws 120 pitches, he's going to make a number of mistakes over the course of that game, missing his spot. And that's what a pitcher's talking about when they're talking about making a mistake. It wasn't so much his pitch selection, but his pitch execution. And then you get into the whole thing about pitch selection and his decision making as well.
Struck him out.
So you might say, pitcher might say, hey, gee, I only made a couple of mistakes, but a pitching coach might argue, well, you made a lot of mistakes in that you didn't use your curveball enough, or you didn't get your changeup going, or you didn't establish inside.
Kevin Correa was talking last night about that changeup, and Jason Castro hit it for the home run that decided the game, and he had thrown a number of really good changeups before that, but that one, he said, caught too much of the plate. Barmas fouls it back. Well, if a guy throws 120 pitches, he has a lot of opportunities to make mistakes.
Yeah, sometimes you get beat on pitches that aren't mistakes. You make a pretty good pitch, a pitch you normally would have success with, but a good hitter just put a good swing on it and beat you.
That's a strike for Chucky Fick, and it's 0-2 to Clint Barmas, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Runners at first and third, and it's a 5-0 Pirate lead. They've out-hit the Astros 10-2. And a strikeout ends it in the Buccos 6. They come up with a run on 2 hits. They strand 2, and they stretch their lead to 5-0. Sixth inning, we were talking about triple milestone guys, and you mentioned the Triple Crown candidate, Miguel Cabrera. Look at that season, JD.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff, and there's a lot of folks that would argue that he is not the MVP in the American League. You can certainly make a compelling case for Mike Trout, but boy, if he wins a Triple Crown, I sure hope he gets the MVP.
Yeah. That's pretty hard to deny, that kind of a compelling year. But if Detroit doesn't make the playoffs, some people may find that influential in the voting.
Yeah, that's too bad too.
It is. Brian Bogusevic is up for the first time in the 9th spot in the lineup.
Just wish they would rename that award and just Player of the Year.
Absolutely.
But and we talked about this the other night. There is precedent. Ted Williams twice won Triple Crowns, but did not receive the MVP award. Ted was not very popular with the writers.
Bogusevic with a high drive to center. McCutchen back. One out for Burnett.
Again, we talked about it with Martinez. Guys with power that has not been able to manifest itself, in the games. And to be able to hit a ball that far, that high, that's raw power there from Bogusevic, but he just has not been able to put it together yet.
Now Jimmy Paredes will be the pinch hitter for Jose Altuve. Altuve was 0 for 1 with a walk. He stole a base. Paredes had 203, has no homers, 3 runs batted in. Has not been getting a lot of playing time recently. He is 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter. He's had 64 at bats with the Astros. Chance to give Jose a few innings off and get him ready for the Cardinals series. And by the same token, get Paredes a few at bats. There's strike 1. In for a strike, and it's 0-2. Burnett has thrown 76 pitches. The Astros pitchers have thrown 139 to this point in the game.
We're out trying them.
And there's a swing and a miss for strikeout number 8.
Jimmy just didn't look like he was ready to hit in that AB. That curveball gives him problems as well.
Two down, and Scott Moore will be next. He has a double and a single. Burnett has struck out 14 in a game twice. Foul back, strike 1. Once in 0-4, once in 0-5.
Well, if not for this man right here, Burnett would have a no-hitter going.
Yes.
Pitched one against the Padres when he was a Marlin. A no-hitter in which he walked 8, I believe. Maybe 9. Something crazy like that.
That was in 0-1. Out to right center field, hit well by Moore, and that is a long ball for Scott Moore. Into the Astros bullpen, number 9. He is 3 for 3 in this game and has all 3 Astros hits. He needs a triple for the cycle.
Like I said, if not for that man, A.J. Burnett would have a shutout going.
9 homers, 24 runs batted in for Scott Moore.
Good reaction shot there as you see Burnett throw his arms up in frustration. He knew that Moore beat him with a big fly.
Now the Astros are on the board trailing by 4 with Brett Wallace coming up. He gets ball 1. He has struck out both times. So Moore takes Burnett deep, and that's the 18th home run surrendered by AJ in 186 innings.
Moore's going to be ostracized in his own dugout because Burnett is just wearing everybody else out, and he owns Burnett, and the guys are going to be like, you're making us look bad, dude.
He's showing that it can be done. 3 for 3 today. That gives him 6 hits and 11 career at bats with 2 homers off Burnett. Drops that in for a strike to make it 1-2 on Wallace. But still, the Pirates have a 4-run lead, and Wallace tries to prolong the inning with Fernando Martinez on deck. The Astros have been out hit 10-3. Pirates have stranded 11. And that strikeout number 9 in the 6th inning. Moore goes deep. Here's number 9 for him, and it's 5-1 Pittsburgh.
Brought to you by Hyundai. If it's stylish, intelligent, safe, and affordable, it's probably a Hyundai. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. Astros are down 5-1, but I think it's so interesting, the strangeness of this game. Totally at the command or under the command of A.J. Burnett, except for one man.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Well, we'll have to ask Scott Moore after the game, because he certainly has found a solution. He ripped that fastball just to the left of the 373 sign into the Astros bullpen for their first run. And it is 5-1 now as Rod Barajas leads it off in the Pirate 7th inning, and it's that grounder to Matt Dominguez. 1 pitch, 1 out for Chucky Fick. Wesley Wright in 1/3 of an inning allowed no hits, 1 run with no walks, 1 strikeout, and a hit batter. Mickey Story 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Chucky Fick gets this out, and now it's A.J. Burnett with Jimmy Paredes staying in the game to play right field after pinch hitting for Jose Altuve, and Scott Moore has moved to second base. Strike 1 to Burnett. Burnett is 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. 15,207 the paid attendance.
I hope more of the infielder has as good a day as more of the outfielder was having. You raised a great point, Greg. You know, baseball is essentially a series of individual battles between the pitcher and the hitters. But, you know, on a day where a pitcher's dominating so many guys, why has that one guy been able to figure him out?
Moore with a play at second. Yes, he's still got the good day going, no matter if it's offense or defense, and no matter what position he's playing.
And it's Burnett the hitter. It's like, I'm just going to, whatever you do, AJ, I'm in your face. Burnett would be trying to hail a cab after the game. Scott would jump into it ahead of him. Hang with him, pal.
2 down. Good play by Scott Moore. He just shifted in from right field to second and made that sparkler.
Yeah, see, he's looking up there. Dude's wearing me out.
Now it's Presley. Presley is 1 for 4. He scored a run after his 5th inning hit. That triggered the 4-run inning as he led off with that single to right. And there's strike 1 for Chucky Fick. Atlanta knocked off the Phillies 2-1 in Philadelphia. Tim Hudson, the winner, goes to 16-6. Cliff Lee, the loser, is 6-8. Craig Kimbrell got his 39th save. He's getting some Cy Young support. Lined out to the gap in right center field. Extra bases. That will roll for a while. Here's Presley zipping it around second. He'll easily make third base. Stand-up triple for Presley. That's his 7th 3-base hit of the year.
This is a guy that doesn't play every day. He had a bunch of triples last year. Got that gap power and very good speed, and that adds up to triples. With 2 outs in the inning, you're not going to try for third base unless you absolutely know you can make it, and he did, and he made it easily. As a matter of fact, he had designs on 4 the way he rounded his bag.
Yep. Got to third quickly. 2-out triple, and now it's Harrison coming up. Harrison has 3 hits in a row after striking out in the first. Chucky slipped a little bit on that one. It's ball 1. The Atlanta Braves winning 2-1 on the road at Philly. They are looking strong. That's win number 88 of the year for them. And Hudson's been a big factor with his 16-6 record. And tied to Harrison for a 2-ball no strike count. Braves remain well ahead of the Cardinals for that first wild card spot, but the Cardinals are leading the second wild card position. In the air, and Scott Moore looks out to Paredes in right field. He puts it away. No runs, 1 hit, a runner stranded at third after the Presley triple. It's time for the singing of God Bless America in just a moment, and 94-year-old Joe Prince will be leading us in that. Military personnel coming out on the field, and we'll let you watch.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as part of this season's Home Sweet Home program, the Astros and Budweiser are proud and honored to be able to welcome to this afternoon's game service members who have recently returned home from overseas deployment. Welcome home, soldiers. Joe Prince celebrated his 94th birthday last week. He is a World War II veteran, and we invite you to join him now as we honor all the servicemen and women around the world who protect our freedom every day and our great nation with the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam, God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Strike one for A.J. Burnett on the curveball to Fernando Martinez. That's been a staple for him today. He has struck out 9 in the first 6 innings. He has a 5-1 lead. His Pirates have out-hit the Astros 11-3. And Fernando is 0 for 2 against him. Fouls that one. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Burnett trying to be one of the few pitchers since 2005 with 100 wins at least. He would be number 12 if he gets this one today. Jared Hughes is warming up for the Pirates. 85 pitches in the bank so far for Burnett. Out to the shortstop, 2 hopper for Barmas. 1 out for Burnett. Well, he has consistently gotten his club into the 6th inning now, 26 starts in a row, and he's gone at least 6 complete innings in 22 of his 29 starts now this year.
Yeah, he's retired the leadoff man in every inning so far this afternoon. It's just tough to put an inning together against a pitcher who's doing that.
Matt Dominguez is struck out looking, and he's lined to second. Tyler Green's on deck. Tough day for Cliff Lee. He pitched well but lost to the Braves 2-1.
He's had a bunch of those this year.
Boy, hasn't he though? Today 8 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 11 strikeouts, and a loss. Kimbrel got his 39th save. His ERA dropping to 1.08.
He struck out about a half of the batters he's faced this year.
Boy.
Which just doesn't happen. Well, except for Aroldis Chapman.
He is starting to attract Cy Young support. 39 saves, tying him with Jason Mott for the league lead. Shortstop Barmas again. Goes out Dominguez, 2 down. Now it's Tyler Green. Chevron will move us ahead to tomorrow night. It's a brand new series. The Cardinals are in town. Chevron drives in with the starting pitchers. Lance Lynn 16-7. Fernando Abad 0-5. Tomorrow night coverage begins at 6:30. And Lance Lynn went 6 1/3 against the Astros last Wednesday in a 5-0 win over Lucas Harrell at St. Louis. Fernando Abad drew Kyle Loesch in the opener of that series. Loesch beat him 4-1, but Abad threw the ball pretty well. He gave up 3 runs in 5 innings, but didn't walk anybody. A little tap to third. Alvarez makes it a quick 7th inning, and it's 5-1 Buccos.
The 2012 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 5th with a wild card to be shown on TBS. Well, the Astros season may be drawing to a close, but there will be baseball played of import for some time. And though we may not be working it, we will all be watching it, won't we, Brownie?
You bet we will. Yeah, this could be a really wild postseason, especially with those play-in games, as they call them, the wild card playoff games. Winner goes on, loser goes home. A lot of folks, of course, love that type of sudden death scenario. It's been very effective in the NCAA basketball championships down through the years. And Ariel Del Rosario comes in, trying to lower his ERA of 8.82.
EDR called up after the September 1st deadline had passed to help provide some support. The Astros bullpen has not had many opportunities since his recall. Changed his mechanics a little bit. He's trying to work from a little bit lower arm angle to see if he had success there. It's a work in progress. You'll see overall this year he's only worked 17 games at the big league level, has that high ERA.
He gets the 8th inning. Chucky Fick in his 2 innings allowed 1 hit, no runs. He had 1 walk, struck out 2. The walk was intentional. McCutchen, who has had a couple of hits today, a double and a single, also as a walk. He's driven in a run. His seasonal numbers, as you can see, his batting average up to .338, so he's gained 2 points in this game. And there's ball 1. Pirates, of course, a team that has accumulated many batting titles down through the years. The Wiener boys, Paul and Lloyd, and great hitters they've had in their organization. So he could join that long list of Pirate batting leaders.
Bill Madlock?
Madlock did it.
Did Parker win one?
He might have. Not sure. He certainly contended if he didn't win. 2 balls and a strike. Tampa Bay shut out Toronto 3-0. A win for Jeremy Hellickson to go to 9-10. And Fernando Rodney got his 44th save. That pitch is low, and it's 3-1. Well, the Rays are now 83-70. If Oakland loses to the Yankees, the Rays will be 2.5 back in the wild card race on the second wild card team. Baltimore has lost 2-1 at Boston. In for a strike. That makes it 3-2. Mets got a run in the bottom of the 9th and walked off with a 3-2 win over Miami. Parnell beating Webb. In there for a strike. He caught him looking.
Good pitch. Hudson backing away, heading towards the dugout before the call was even made. Laredo fastball, bottom of the knees, outside third. Very nice.
Quality work. Gabby Sanchez came off the bench and was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. Then he grounded out in the 6th.
Dave Parker won batting titles for the Pirates in 1977 and 1978.
Okay, forgot that.
And Madlock in 81 and 83. The most recent one, Freddie Sanchez in 2006, hit 344. Had 25 in all, a whole bunch of them by Hannes Wagner.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes. How about the Wiener boys? How did they do?
Yeah, Paul won in 27 and 34. I don't think Lloyd ever got one. Paul won again in 36.
Okay. It's 3-0. Minnesota dumped Detroit 10-4 at Detroit in game 1 of a twin bill. Puts the Tigers under the gun to win the nightcap. Tigers really don't look like a shot to take a wild card position, so it looks like win the division or go home for Detroit. They now drop 1 game behind the White Sox. 3 balls and a strike. That's ripped on a line toward the left field corner. That one will reach the wall. Martinez playing it back in, but It's going to be a double.
Wow.
Beat that throw. Just ahead of the throw to second base, which was right on the money.
Yeah, I thought Fernando was going to cut that ball off on the backhand side. He opted to play it off the wall and then turned around into a bullet into second base and almost got Gabby Sanchez.
He made it very close. Sanchez picks up the double, and now it's Alvarez batting. Alvarez has struck out 3 times, and he's walked intentionally. Little dunker out, and the shift was on, so he gets it through into left field. And here's the throw to the plate from Martinez. The tag, safe, and it's 6-1. The throw pulled Snyder away from home plate. He tried to lunge back for the tag on Sanchez, and Sanchez was able to get in to make it a 6-1 lead.
Well, they've had some soft hits in this game. Close play at home plate. I thought they got him. We'll see the tag play here. Looked like the foot got in just before that tag was applied on the shoulder. So Martinez called upon to make a couple of strong throws. This one just a little bit offline, and good call.
And Alvarez wound up at second after the RBI single. Yeah, they're giving Elton John a run in the soft hits category in this game. 6-1 lead. It's a smash into center field. That should make it 7-1. Bogusevic over. RBI single. And the Buccos lead by 6.
Nothing soft about that one. Good solid line drive single by Tabata.
3 straight hits after the impressive strikeout looking on McCutcheon.
Ball came back over the heart of the plate on him. And that's the tough thing with that sidearm delivery when you're trying to come all the way across the plate to the outside corner to a right-handed hitter. It's tough to execute that pitch. It has a tendency to run back the other way.
Clint Barmas is 2 for 4. He drove in a run in that 4-run 5th inning with a single. That's 14 Pittsburgh hits today. 3 for the Astros. And that one's fouled off Snyder for strike 1. It's San Diego 1, San Francisco nothing. They've played 2 in the city by the bay. Arizona 3, Colorado nothing. Bottom of the 5th in Colorado. Texas and Seattle scoreless after 2. Cardinals are batting in the 8th, leading 4-3 at Chicago. Pete Kozma hit his first homer. For the Cubs, Alfonso Soriano belted number 31. Barmas looks at a ball to make him 1-1, or make it 2-1 now. White Sox are scoreless at Anaheim against the Angels in the top of the 5th inning. Against Jared Weaver. Green is out into shallow center field looking to see if somebody else can get there, and Scott Moore can. 2 outs. Gavin Floyd pitching well for the White Sox so far in that 0-0 game. A very big one for the Sox against the Angels. The loser of that one is going to be dealt an interesting setback at this time of year. Only about 10 days to go in the race, so those losses come hard for teams in contention about this time of the year. And the Angels are only 3 behind Oakland in the loss column right now. That's over Green, and a hit to left center field for Barajas. It's 1st and 3rd as the Pirates just keep churning. That is their 4th hit of the inning. Tabata to third base.
And good hustle by Tabata. A little base hit right off the end of the bat by Barajas. Jumped on that first pitch. For his second knock.
15 hits for the Buccos. Burnett is 0 for 3 with the sac bunt.
5th plate appearance in this game. If you're a starting pitcher and you're getting your 5th plate appearance, you know you're having a good day.
1 to Burnett. The Yankees are batting in the bottom of the ninth, trailing Oakland 5-4. Very big game for Oakland. And also important for the Yankees. Strike makes it 1-1. New York came into today with a 1-game lead on Baltimore. And the Orioles lost. Punched into right field, and Burnett joins the hit parade to make it 8-1. Only his 4th hit of the year. That drives in his 2nd run of the season. It's a 5-hit inning for the Pirates. And we'll get a double switch for the Astros. Looks like Brandon Laird coming in to play some third base. Laird replacing Matt Dominguez at that position, and a new pitcher coming up as well when we return with the Pirates leading at 8-1. And so there's some entertainment there. Meanwhile, Reiner Cruz takes over with a 1-1 record, a 6.32 ERA. He's pitcher number 6 for the Astros today.
Pirates threatening to bat around for the 2nd time in this ball game. EDR, after striking out Andrew McCutchen most impressively, just really struggled. 5 of the next 6 hitters reached against him with base hits.
Brandon Laird enters at the same time in the double switch at third base. So he goes into the number 8 spot in the order. He'll be due up second in the bottom half of the inning. Presley is the batter. He has 2 hits, including a triple. Way outside, ball 1 for Reiner. It's Milwaukee 6, Washington 2. They've played 8 in our nation's capital. Oakland has knocked off the Yankees 5-4. 2 balls, no strikes. But the Yankees maintain their 1-game lead on Baltimore, which also lost. The A's are now 20 games over 500, 86-66. Bouncer to second. Moore coming in. Makes the toss to Green for the force to end the Pirate 8th inning. They come up with 3 runs on 5 hits and strand 2, and they lead at 8-1. Moore, just as we promised earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Scott Moore has 3 hits. Here was number 3, a homer on a 1-1 pitch. Back in the 6th inning, it went into the Astros bullpen. Earlier, he had doubled and singled.
Yeah, we will not have a hard time identifying the Astros player of the game today. Been pretty darn easy for Burnett this afternoon, except for those confrontations with Scott Moore. Who, for good measure, made a play on Burnett in the field and threw him out too.
Well, Burnett is warming up for the bottom of the 8th inning with that big lead of 8-1, shooting for his 16th win of the year, and it'll be Chris Snyder leading it off. Then Laird, then Bogusevic due to bat for the Astros. Burnett really set a nice tone with his breaking ball today, and he's walked only 1, and that was Altuve back in the 3rd. Look alike, possibly.
Something going on there.
Where's that cap?
It looks like it's kind of a Texans hat of some sort. Maybe Longhorns. I don't know.
Okay. Snyder leading it off has struck out twice.
Maybe it's the Beaumont Bulls.
Could be. 1-0.
Today's the anniversary of Merkel's boner, one of the more famous plays in baseball history, 1908. Fred Merkel, just 19 years of age, a part-time player for the Giants. On what would have been the game-winning base hit, he was on first. He failed to touch second, assuming the game was over, and that was the norm back in the day. But the Cubs grabbed the ball, went and tagged second, appealed to the umpire. They got the calls. They called it a tie game. They replayed it, and the Cubs won. And ended up winning the pennant.
Yeah. And as you say, that was kind of the norm of the day. That rule really had not been enforced, but I think there had been a similar situation the week before, something like that, involving that same umpire who was alerted to it. I think it was Hank O'Day was out there.
Yeah, it was. And that's back when there was only 2 umpires.
Oh, that's right.
Umpire behind the plate and one on the bases.
So this time he enforced it. And wow, did that create some havoc in that pennant race. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Burnett. Merkel's boner. 19 years old, and he's known for that. And only that to most baseball fans. And you talk about the Bill Buckners of the world. Snyder caught looking. That's 10 strikeouts. Buckner had a fine career, but he's known for that error in the World Series for Boston.
Let's find out about Fred Merkel.
Okay.
Statistically.
Do some in-depth work on it.
Carl Frederick Rudolph Merkel. This is according to Baseball Reference, and then in parentheses, bonehead.
Wonder if he responded to that nickname.
He's a lifetime 273 hitter.
Okay. Not all bad here. Brandon Laird up for the first time, gets ball 1.
Playing about 16 years in the big leagues.
He was able to shake it off, JD. Brandon's had 18 at-bats with 5 hits, including a homer. It's 2-0.
It was like the Charlie Brown of his day, right? Bonehead Merkel.
Exactly.
Why didn't you touch second base?
Well, apparently it was just routine for players to peel off and head for the clubhouse, which was in center field. Then kind of take a shortcut because the game was over, they thought. Out of play, and you know, a lot of stories have been written about that. Who knows what the real fact of it was, but some of the stories have indicated, well, you know, the infielders were calling for the baseball, but by then the crowd was on the field and they got a ball from somewhere.
Yeah.
And threw it in. Who knows if that was the one that had been in play. That's lined into left field. Well, it might be garbage time, but Laird cashes in on his at bat here in the 8th inning. A nice line drive hit. That's hit number 4 for the Astros. The first by any Astro other than Moore.
Fastball up in the zone, put a good swing on it. There's action in the Pirate bullpen, and Burnett approaching 100 pitches. A comfortable lead, no reason to push him, other than the fact that he might want to try to finish his ball game.
Jared Hughes, the right-hander. Tony Watson, the lefty. Bogusevic batting now. He hit a fly ball to center earlier. Paredes on deck. And it's strike one. Apparently, Brad Ausmus's Israeli club is playing Spain.
So this is a qualifying tournament to get into the World Baseball Classic that will be played in the spring. Is that what this is all about?
Yes. And that game is tonight between Israel and Spain.
Get a point spread?
Nope. I think Sean Green is on that team.
He is.
Bogusevic looking at the umpire,
arguing that he got hit by that pitch.
Let's see what the call is. He wants to know. And he's questioning Tim Timmons, pointing to his foot, saying the pitch hit him on the foot, but Timmons apparently did not agree with that. Now Tony DeFrancesco coming out.
Tim's got no idea. Let me get some help.
Well, last night the umpires consulted and reversed a call at first base. Okay.
Yeah, got him on the toe. We got Tim in the arm, so he was kind of focusing on that.
Right. So maybe Eric Cooper saw it. Jeff Collins or Marty Foster.
You guys got it. I didn't see it. I don't know. I got hit in the arm, man. I don't know. It's 8-1. Why are these guys arguing? What do you think? Bogey's a good guy. He wouldn't lie to us. All right, let's give him his base. There we go.
Okay, they are now reversing it and saying he was hit by the pitch, as Bogusevic claimed all along.
I'm not sure that any one of those four guys came in and said that they knew definitively that he got hit by that ball. You didn't get the sense that any one of those guys was taking charge going, yeah, here's how I saw it. It was like, what's your best guess, fellas? Bogey wouldn't lie to us. No.
And the count was 0-2 when he got hit. So a very favorable outcome for the Astros. And now they have 2 men on and 1 out for Jimmy Paredes. Paredes struck out in the 6th inning. A strike one to Jimmy. The hits are in favor of Pittsburgh, 16-4. Pirates have stranded 14. Houston has left 2.
Yeah. It scored 8 runs and it still left 14 men on base. It could be a lot worse.
It could be a lot worse. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Make it 0-2. Burnett's thrown 104 pitches. He has 1 complete game, and that was a shutout this year. And he gets a K. Number 11. With more coming up, and Moore's 3 for 3 in this game against Burnett. Double, single, homer.
Trouble with the curve.
We've seen that theme throughout the day. Moore hit his double just inside the left field line. He got a hit at second base up the middle and home run to right center. So now can he make it a 4-for-4 day against A.J. Burnett? You know, we wonder things all the time that are very trivial about this sport. So I'll throw this out there. Okay, let's say Burnett wins this game 8-1 and goes the distance. And Scott Moore goes 4-for-4 against him. That would be pretty unusual. in a major league game, wouldn't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would go back to that conversation we had earlier. You know, if one guy could go 4 for 4, you know, especially none of them are cheap. He hits the ball well. So wouldn't you think that, well, the guy's doesn't have his best stuff, or he's making some mistakes, and other guys would take advantage of that as well. But it hasn't been the case. He's been really, really good, but Moore just beaten him.
And Moore puts one in the air to left field. Presley with the catch to end the 8th inning with no runs, a hit, and a man stranded. Moving to the 9th, it's 8-1 Pirates.
Hyundai. If it's stylish, intelligent, safe, and affordable, it's probably a Hyundai. Stay with us. Greg Lucas on the set out in left field. We'll have Astros live post game with AT HOU coming up following the game. Of course, the Astros have a big rally coming up in the bottom of the 9th that will delay things a little bit. Let's send it back to Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
Thank you, Greg. Greg, a man who is working very hard today, pre and post game duties as well as his normal duties, and he's the guy from now on through the rest of the season, hosting the pre and post game as we finish it on out for 2012. This is game number 153, so just 9 remaining after tonight. Here's Josh Harrison leading it off. It is 8-1 Pirates. Harrison has 3 singles in 5 at bats. Well, we have 3 here with the Cardinals, and then an off day for travel, and then 3 in Milwaukee, 3 in Chicago. We can do that, JD.
Can handle it, Brownie. We can push through it.
Strike one. Actually, September's been more of an upbeat month with a 10-10 record for the Astros coming into this game. And an opportunity with the Cardinals coming in after they swept the Astros in St. Louis to impact the wild card race. This fly ball hits for the seats.
Good game for the Dodgers tonight as they try to hang in there. They're in Cincinnati. Cincinnati just clinched the division. Clayton Kershaw is going to start for the Dodgers tonight. He's had that hip problem. There's been some speculation as to whether he would go or not, but as of now, he's supposed to be the guy. The Dodgers averaging 2.7 runs per game in the month of September.
After acquiring all that talent in the trade with the Red Sox.
Go figure.
Yeah, they picked up something like $275 million in salary obligations in that trade. I think Beckett has pitched reasonably well for them, hasn't he?
Well, I'm going to find that out, but that sounds right. That would be my assessment.
Carl Crawford was hurt when he was traded, so no chance for a contribution this year from him. And they have deep pockets, as we know, so there's a chance that Carl could come around for them. He has about 4 or 5 years remaining on his deal, I believe. Nick Punto has helped a little bit. Chad Qualls is warming up for the Pirates. You know, Gonzalez hasn't done a whole lot for them, Adrian, since that trade.
Now, Victorino, he came over in a different deal. He's hitting 225.
Okay.
Adrian Gonzalez is hitting 245 with 1 home run and 106 at bats.
Not what they had hoped for.
Got off to a great start. He had a game-winning hit, I think, in his first game in a Dodger uniform.
I think you're right.
Anthony Ramirez hitting 257 with a 310 on base and a 458 slugging. So he's, you know, he's contributed. He's hit 10 bombs, driven in 42.
Broken bat, and that loops over Laird into left field.
Man, have a day.
4th hit for Harrison.
Ball way off the plate inside. At least that's what it appeared to be on our monitor. Listen, he is better than McCartney. Look at that.
Moving right in on him. He was quick enough to get Wood on that and pick up hit number 4 of the day. 17 hits for the Buccos. Now McCutchen comes around again. He is 2 for 4 with an RBI, a walk. And there's strike. That ties Harrison's career high with the 4-hit game.
It's a mixed bag for Beckett Brown. He's made 5 starts. He's 1-2 with a 3.45 ERA.
Okay. Much better than he was in Boston, though. No balls, 2 strikes to McCutchen. McCutchen right now is at 337 on his batting average. So with 2 hits today is 188. 12 more to get to 200. They'll have 10 more games. Off the mask of Snyder. He'll probably play in all 10 of those if it's possible for him to do so.
I can tell you what kind of day Chris Snyder's having with this reaction right here after getting dinged with that foul tip. He wants to drop the gear. But being the gamer that he is, he picks it back up, straps it back on, he'll squat down and put down a couple more fingers.
Such a tough year for these Astros catchers. Boy, they've been through the mill. This club has surrendered 764 runs this year. Off the end of the bat to shortstop. Green tossing. Here's the middleman, not in time on the relay from Scott Moore. And it's a 6-4 play on out number 1. You know, regarding the batting title now, it's going to be fun to watch how it's handled with McCutchen. You know, does he go to the final day and sit out if he has a lead over Posey and that sort of thing? Does Posey get rested because the Giants have clinched? Speed never takes a day off, JD.
No, he's almost out of our picture by the time the ball got to first base on that attempted turn.
Ball 1 to Gabby Sanchez. He has a double. He's been hit by a pitch. He's scored 2 runs in this game. Milwaukee's trying to close out Washington. The Nationals are batting in the bottom of the 9th, trailing the Brewers 6-2. John Axford's in the game. Now, Milwaukee cannot afford a misstep at all, so the closer in with a 4-run lead. It's 2-0.
It's interesting because, you know, we're all aware of the flaws, the statistical flaws in batting average. Doesn't really tell that much of a story, but we still cling to that, you know, the batting crown, the batting title. It's so much part of the history of the game. But really, you might see a day where, you know, they use OPS. Who's the batting leader? Who's
right.
The guy with the highest on base plus slugging.
Interesting. Swing and a miss there by Sanchez makes it 2-1. Cardinals are winning 6-3 as they bat in the 9th inning at Chicago. And Milwaukee also winning. If that trend continues, St. Louis retains its 2.5 game lead on the Brewers. as the Cardinals head for Houston later tonight. Well, their bullpen has been really worked hard by Mike Matheny lately. Foul back, it's 2-2.
Yeah, they're in that final push. He really has to lean heavily on those guys. And the Pirates, check it out, boy. Everybody getting a little piece of the action here this afternoon for Clint Hurdle's group. Harrison having a career day with 4 knocks.
Even the pitcher joining in the fun for Clint Hurdle, trying to snap its 5-game losing streak.
If the batting crown were given to the player with the highest on base plus slugging in the National League, it would be Ryan Braun at 995. McCutcheon second, Giancarlo Stanton third, then Buster Posey.
(3-2) for Reiner Cruz. McCutcheon is not being held on with the 8-1 score. In the air and out of play. The Angels have really broken through against Gavin Floyd. They've scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And they're still batting with the 4-0 lead. Kendrys Morales hit his 22nd homer. That was a 2-run shot. It's Cleveland 15, Kansas City 4. The Tribe has scored 7 in the 9th and is still batting. That's rocked into left field right between third and short for a solid single. Gabby Sanchez has come off the bench and reached base 3 times. That's his 2nd hit. Put him down for a multi-hit game with his action starting in the 5th inning today.
Came in, and when the Astros brought Wesley Wright out of the bullpen with the bases loaded, Sanchez hit for Garrett Jones, got hit by a pitch to drive in the first run of the ball game. Last time up he doubled, now this solid single. Pirates are getting greedy here. My goodness, boys. Did you have a plane to catch?
They're looting and pillaging and plundering.
Yeah.
They say the plane can wait. Alvarez is 1 for 4. An RBI single and an intentional walk. Well, they're heading for New York. Strike 1 to Alvarez. They've got a long trip ahead. On a night game tomorrow.
Eight runs, 18 hits. They have not hit a long ball this afternoon, however.
Punch foul and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Texas got 3 in the top of the 4th at Seattle, and the Rangers lead at 3-0 now. Ryan Dempster on the mound. Home run support from Mike Napoli, number 20, and Giovanni Soto, number 11.
The on base plus slugging in the American League leader is Miguel Cabrera. He's up over 1,000. He's the only guy in either league who's done that so far this year. Trout is second, and then Hamilton, then Edwin Encarnacion.
It's 1-2. Buster Posey is not in the lineup today for the Giants. They lead 2-1 at home after 4 against San Diego. Strike 3. 2 outs now. You know, the asset that Bruce Bochy has with Posey and trying to get him a batting title is he can play him at first base and rest his legs from catching.
Yeah, Bruce will do that from time to time during the course of the season. Give Posey a break, but keep his bat in the lineup.
Now Jose Tabata bats against Reiner Cruz. He has driven in 2 runs in this game. He also coming off the bench, as did Sanchez. In that 5th inning, when the Buccos broke through, they broke a scoreless tie with 4 runs. And Jordan Lyles was in a 0-0 game. He'd given up 2 hits and a walk, bases loaded, nobody out when he left. That's when the Pirates really started to spin the wheel. And they're now up 8-1. They scored 4 runs on 4 hits. They also had 2 walks and a hit batter in that big 5th inning. 0-2. Milwaukee has finished its win at Washington 6-2. Brandon Kintzler wins that one, beating Ryan Matthews, and John Axford gets his 33rd save. Bouncer, Brandon Laird. Good play to the backhand side as he reached down and took that ball in his glove, then went to the bag for the force play. No runs, 2 hits, 2-man left. Bottom of the 9th coming, 8-1 Pirates. Taking over in center field for the Buccos. A.J. Burnett had a glittering day. Qualls taking over now with a 1-1 record, a 5.48 ERA.
Sinker slider. Chad really had problems with left-handed hitters this year. Overall, league hitting .297 against him. Pirates are his 3rd team that he's pitched for this year. Been a Yankee, been a Philly.
There's Marte in center field. Qualls, the 2nd-round pick of the Astros in 2000. 34 years old now, from Lomita, California. He went to Nevada, Reno, came to the big leagues in 04. Was a big part of the Astros bullpen in that 05 season when he had 22 holds and pitched in 77 games. Won a game in the league championship series. And he came back with 81 appearances in 06, 79 in 07. So he averaged almost 80 appearances over a 3-year period for Houston. And he won 19 games, 05 through 07. He delivers to Brett Wallace, and Brett takes strike 1. For Burnett, 8 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball today. Walking 1, hitting a batter, fanning 11. It's 0-2 to Wallace. A.J. Burnett in line for win number 16 of the year. Pirates have banged out 18 hits to the Astros 4. Pittsburgh has stranded 16 runners to Houston's 4-man left on base. There's a strikeout of Wallace. The pitch in the dirt, and Barajas throws down to first. Take care of out number 1.
It's a tough day for Wally. 4 trips, 4 punch-outs. One breaking ball after another that he could not lay off, nor could he hit.
Fernando Martinez is 0 for 3. Fernando's grounded out twice and struck out. Qualls was acquired on the 31st of July from the Yankees in the Casey McGee trade. Marwin Gonzalez is on deck. A ball to Fernando Martinez makes it a 1-ball 1-strike count. Burnett threw 109 pitches, 74 were strikes. It's a 2-1 count now for Fernando Martinez. So Burnett in line to become the first Pittsburgh pitcher to win more than 15 games since '91. Two balls and 2 strikes. Final game of the season series, and the Pirates are on their way, it would appear, to finishing with a 12-5 record against the Astros this season. They'll play again next year, though, in interleague play. It's 3-2.
And Qualls posting that high ERA this year, and some of the things you've read and heard, well, maybe he's toward the end of the line, but you're looking at his stuff here today, he looks fine. 94 miles an hour with that good sink. Breaking ball has been sharp.
It's a bouncer. Abby Sanchez feeding Qualls for out number 2. In a game like this, he has a chance to get out there with not a whole lot of pressure on him with a 7-run lead.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the toughest things that pitchers age and the appearances and the innings pile up. It's just the ability to sustain that stuff. If you're used regularly over short bursts, it's one thing to have a few days off and be able to come out and be crisp, but can you keep that good heater and the good movement if you're used 3 out of 4 days like you could in your prime?
Marwin Gonzalez is the batter. He's a .232, has 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. He got to start Thursday at shortstop in St. Louis. There's ball 1 to Marwin. That was his first appearance since he injured his ankle August 30th. Second time he had an injury this year. Pinch hitting for the pitcher here, Reiner Cruz. And he smacks one that's gloved at first base by Sanchez and taken to the bag for the final out. Pirates win at 8-1. Burnett goes to 16-8. Lyles, the loser, is 4-12. Pittsburgh wins the season series 12 games to 5. Final score as the Buccos snap their 5-game losing streak is Pirates 8, Astros 1.